The road to XCAL glory continues at America's hometown track, the virtual South Boston Speedway in South Boston, Virginia, for the 12th round of XCAL Racing's $2 Tuesday series. Welcome to the XCAL Racing Web Shop 350. 40 street stocks battle it out on the 4/10 mile bull ring for an ultimate grassroots showdown. Hello friends, happy to have you with us on How to Suck at iRacing's Twitch and Facebook pages. Alongside HTSAI owner Doug Burns, I'm Marty Sakala. Doug, let's look at the big stories so far, and that is Luke Turpin versus Austin Edwards. The two have combined to split each of the last 6 races, 3-3 between. Turpin currently standing as the points leader. Austin Edwards is 8th, but Edwards is closing in fast.
Yeah, they really, and last week really kind of shook that up. They were nose to tail most of the race until a late race incident took the leader out, going to pit road, put him a few seconds back, and that's how we ended up where we are tonight. The battle will continue here, and tonight is going to be a wild one for both of these guys and everybody else.
And let's talk about the track as well. A little bit similar to a track we went to a couple of weeks ago, that being Oxford, just without the curving. There is some straightaway action. Going to be a lot of fun to watch tonight here.
Yeah, they get a lot of side-by-side. We've seen in practice where they're getting easily get too wide all the way around the track. I've seen a couple instances of even 3 wide around the track. I'm expecting a lot of wild racing out of them here tonight.
Let's talk with Luke Turpin right now. Comes in as our pole sitter and points leader. Turpin, it's Marty in the booth. You got a copy.
What's going on, Big D?
What's going on, my man? All right, so first off, let's talk about you starting on pole. How fast is this car tonight in advance of this race here at Zobo?
Good, man. I just got to get to the end. That's the ticket. Get to the end. I think if I'm on a level playing field with everybody, I got them covered. Just gotta make it there.
You come in as well, the last winner here at South Boston. How much of an advantage is that for you tonight?
That's something I did not know. I did not know I'd won the last race here, but I'll take it and feel good. Like I said, not one of my best tracks by any means. I think last weekend was probably going to be one of my better tracks, but made a mistake there. Looking not to make a mistake tonight.
Turpin, we wish you the best of luck tonight, man.
Have a good.
All right, that's Luke Turpin, who is starting on pole position. Currently, right now, final warm-ups are underway. Your top 3, Brandon Varney, Tyler Jalbert, and Kenny Tripp. All favorites to watch out for in tonight's race. We take a look at the point standings as we speak coming on in. It is a 61-point lead for Turpin over Jordan Babinger, I should say as well, in the owner standings there in the Rolling Thunder Racing over the DBR2 team. Octavio Rondeletto as the driver owner, 74 points back in 3rd. Then JB Smooth, John Swartz is 4th in the standings, and that car owned by PDJ Zeller. Tyler McRae is 5th in standings. Colin Hoffner, owned by Alex Hellner on the 57, is 6th, just about 300 points back. Matthew Berry in the number 19 is 7th in standings. Austin Edwards, we talked about him earlier, he's 8th in points. Tyler Batchelder in 9th in points, and Kendrick Cryer is in 10th. We were looking to talk to Austin Edwards here with the battle being between him and Turpin these past few races, but we don't have him. But we are going to talk with the man that currently stands 2nd in points, Jordan Babinger. Let's move him over here to the broadcast booth. Babinger, it's Marty in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
2nd in points coming on in. What's the game plan coming into this race to try and close in on the points lead on Turpin?
This race for me, I think it's just going to be to survive. Wasn't able to get the kind of laps in I wanted this weekend, but yeah, I'm just going to try to survive this one.
Coming, starting in 26th in today's race, you got the top. You're obviously guaranteed in being in the top 15. What's the game plan these opening few laps? Do you try and be a little bit patient, a little conservative before the wrecks occur in front of you and try and make your moves up to the front?
Yeah, I mean, you can't get too big a hurry here too early. I'm just going to try to conserve the tires and see what I can do there.
All right, Babinger, good luck tonight, man.
Thank you.
That's Jordan Babinger currently coming in, starting in 26th in tonight's race. Doug, let's get your keys to victory here tonight. What do you have?
Well, I think the fuel strategy, we've got a 350-lap race. They can go 80 to 90. Maybe some of these guys can stretch it a little bit further depending on their gearing. But the fuel strategy is going to be huge because you're talking about the difference between 4 stops and 5 stops here tonight. So that's going to be a big one. Managing your damage. It is a small track. They are going to be leaning on each other all night long. So just managing how much damage they get, trying to keep the car as clean as possible. And you said it earlier, one of the biggest keys tonight will be survival, and a lot of questions there we've seen on some of these shorter tracks. They get to beating and banging too much. The guy that survives that the best is going to be the one there at the end, and just hope to be fast.
You just brought up damage. Keep in mind, this is the third race, if not the second race, with the new street stock damage on iRacing, the damage physics on iRacing, and even just a scrape in the wall is going to pretty much ruin your entire race. You don't want to be doing that tonight.
No, I've actually seen a couple of mild hits in practice that ended up with just the front bumper come off. The damage is more specific. It's more regional. You can hit a small part of it and damage that part of it, but if you hit hard enough, man, you're going to lose some parts, and it's easy to damage the car completely. They're trying to keep it as real as possible, and obviously the damage models caused some problems recently, but it's also as it gets fixed, it's getting better, and it's going to make these guys have to drive a lot smarter.
The drivers duking it out for 350 laps, 140 miles, pit road speed 35 miles an hour, the banking 12 degrees in the turns, 10 degrees in the straights, estimated purse just about $128. Let's give you a starting lineup. We'll go through the top 25 that made their way through the heat races. The fastest of the heat winners, Luke Turpin, starts on pole. Patrick Sullivan next to him on the front row. Row 2, Austin Edwards, the main adversary to Turpin, in the 66, and Tyler Berchelder on the outside. Row 3, Kenny Tripp rounding out the heat winners, and then it's Matthew Bear next to him. Row 4, it's the legendary 52 of Chase Johnson, USA winner, Alex Hallinar, Charlotte winner, next to him. Row number 5, Kendrick Crayer, Greg Holtz round out the top 10. Row number 6, in the 96, we have it is to be announced. Stay tuned for that. Tyler Jalbert rounding out the outside of row 6. Big John in row 7 on the inside, John Fraley, Brennan Varney next to him. In row 8, it's Mason Foster, Mike Stoddard. Row 9, Robert Colgan and T. Cray himself, Tyler McRae. Sean Andrews, Blake Wynn round out the top 20 in row 10. Not a good qualifying start, though, for Octavio Rondeletto. He qualified in 11th. Derek Colson next to him. Shane Briggs, Joe Campbell make up row number 12, and we've got Logan Jones in 25th. Next to him, Jordan Bavinger with the top 15 guaranteed spot. As we look through the rest of the grid, we can tell you some of the drivers that are getting an EOL to start the race off, including the strike, that being Gregorio Emiliano Dorso, John Schwartz, Colin Hoffner, Trevor Birchmeyer, PDJ Zeller, and Paul Coleman Jr. And let's talk with your in-race reporter while we are at it, if we can try and find him here first off. Looking for PD, and there he is. So let's get into him with the booth. PDJ Zeller, Marty, up in their booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, Marty, what's up?
Alrighty. Starting in 39th through EOL, just talk about your game plan here at South Boston.
Yeah, I'm just going to try to pick them off one at a time, starting at the back of the field. It's not something that bothers me too much. I know we'll probably see a couple early cautions. I'm just going to be trying to pick them off one at a time. Hopefully, I can find myself top 20 maybe about 50 laps into this thing.
50 laps into this thing, indeed. Warm-ups, you came in with a 16.402. Is that the time you really expect these drivers to go around?
That was just a warm-up time, I think if I can consistently be running near the 5s or 6s, I should find myself near the top 10 not too long. I really like the car I have under me. I think I would have had a good performance in the heat race yesterday. I got involved in an early incident in that race, had no caution, so I was just kind of hung out to dry. But I think today this car will have good speed, and I'm curious to see how far we can get up in the field.
All right, Petey, we'll let you go. Good luck tonight, man.
Thank you, man.
He is our in-race reporter for tonight, starting in 39th as the drivers all roll off. Doug, final thoughts before we go green flag racing here at America's hometown track?
Mainly boogity, boogity, boogity. This is going to be a wild one, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how these guys handle the tight track. We've seen a lot of these smaller tracks, but they have more space in width. These guys don't have a ton, so there's going to be a lot of pushing and shoving.
Who you got for your pick to win here?
Man, every week I say it, and I think this week is going to be it. I think it's going to be Octavio Rondoletto. He starts way back midfield, but he sneaks his way up there. You just don't know he's there until suddenly at the last third of the race, there comes Rondoletto.
Rondello looking for win 2 of the season. 350 laps. Who's going to win it and how's it going to be done? We're about to find out. Race fans, strap in, hold on to your seats, because these men are about to turn them loose and drop the sledgehammer. Ladies and gentlemen, it is show time at Sobo.
Off into turn 1, here they go.
Off of corner number 2, it's Luke Perfin with a great jump over Patrick Sullivan. Down into corner number 3, Turpin's got the edge over Sullivan. As they are side by side for 4th, it's Chase Johnson trying to take a look underneath on Tyler Berschelder. Lap 1 in the books, led by Luke Turpin here.
Interesting, I just saw a note. I'll have to check on this, but Austin Edwards went to the pit on the start. Not sure what happened there, but that's definitely, he's going to have a lot of ground to make up already, and then that situation is not going to help.
Currently in 36th position, early developing situation there for Austin Edwards. Continuing on through the field, they're all throughout single file. We got a nice battle happening here for 6th spot. Kendrick Cryer, and contact between him and Tyler Berschelder. That's normal for short track racing here.
Yeah, they're definitely leaning on each other already. I saw a few instances in the middle of the pack where they were looking to go 3 wide. Everybody's kind of backed out of it, playing it a little bit smarter. They know they've got a long way to go, but these guys are getting a little bit crazy. And it's worth noting that the 5 fastest cars in practice, there was less than a 1/10 of a second, and in some cases less than a 100th of a second between their speeds. So a lot of these guys just need to play it out and settle in. They've got some really fast cars out here tonight.
Behind them, a nice side-by-side battle going on for position number 8, Tyler Jalber. The weapon looking inside of Greg Holes. You do not want to be in the middle line here, Doug. The inside line where you want to be.
Yeah, when you come up off these corners, if you're in the middle, it really pushes up. There's not as much banking the higher you get through the corners, so it can push you out into the wall. And obviously, if the car to the inside starts pushing too much, you're going into the wall that way too. So things can get a little bit dicey if you're not just down right on the bottom.
Patrick Sullivan scraped the wall there for just a second. Kenny Tripp trying to take advantage there. The helmet all the way down low, now trying to dive in the corners. Looking on the outside here, interesting situation there for Kenny.
Yeah, it's getting exciting up at the front already, and I'm really surprised to see this much activity. As now we've got him trying to look Patrick Sullivan right on the back bumper.
Oh, Sullivan gets turned to the inside. Can he save it? No, he cannot. There they go. Chase Johnson goes around Tyler Berschelder, first yellow of the day. Doug, I will let you take replays under the yellow flag here for this caution because I need to take care of something real quick.
Yeah, it looks like the 52 just drove in too deep, and the 16 just tried to turn up, but it packed up a ton of cars. I'll try and go through the list here in a minute, everybody that was caught in that, but that was happening in the top 5, and just a ton of cars impacted, and that is going to definitely change a lot of guys' strategy midfield. Let's see if we can get a list. I'm trying to look and see. You got Patrick Sullivan, Greg Holes, Octavio Rondoletto, Tyler Batchelder, Tyler McRae, Sean Andrews, Blake Wynn, Shane Briggs, Jordan Babinger, Robert Colgan, Alex Hallinar, Aiden Murray, Mason Foster, Logan Jones, Cole Patrick. Just a ton of cars caught up in that mess. That is a crazy way for this race to start. As they line back up, Luke Turpin still has the lead. Kenny Tripp is up 4 spots into second. Matt Bear into third. Tyler Gelbert in fourth. Brandon Varney managed to sneak his way through all of that. He picked up 7 spots to take fifth. Mike Stoddard survived. He picks up, just looking at these cars as they come by, Mike Stoddard now up to 6th. Greg Holes in 7th. Mason Foster in 8th. 9th is Tyler McRae, and 10th is Blake Wynn. So several cars have gone to pit road. The list is extensive.
Yeah, crazy lap early on here. 3 wide just sometimes does not work. Here out at South Boston, was surprised Chase Johnson took advantage of that move.
Yeah, that was definitely a gutsy move, and we saw him trying to save it there, but obviously just couldn't, and that's what brought on. And like I said, a ton of cars caught up on this. It looks like almost everybody. We've got 5 cars still on pit road. Jeremy Leto, Chase Johnson, Patrick Sullivan, Tyler Batchelder, and Kendrick Cryer still on pit road as they come down to green.
All right, Doug. About to go green flag now.
Yep. One more lap.
All right, Doug, I'll let you take play-by-play here for this next spin until I get back.
Okay. All right, one more lap to green. It looks like they delayed it for just a moment, but we are going green here. In about a half a lap, Luke Turpin and Kenny Tripp, and Kenny has been moving up through the field, getting fairly aggressive out there, so we'll see if he can continue to make that work. Pace truck dives off. Green flag is in the air. Luke Turpin gets a good jump down into 1. Kenny Tripp is now up to 2nd. 3rd place, Tyler Jalbert right there with him, and it's side by side. Matt Bear and Mike Stoddard right there. Mike Stoddard caught up on the outside. He might lose a couple more positions here if he can't find a gap. The 19 is hanging on to that low line. Stoddard is just trying to hang on here. A little further back, Greg Hull's working his way up through the field in the 61 car. He is now up to 7th after starting in 9th. Biggest mover so far. Blake Wynn has definitely taken advantage of the early chaos. He is in the he started in 18th. He's up to 9th in the 81 car. Meanwhile, Luke Turpin and Kenny Tripp have settled down just a little bit as they run. Looks like about the first 7 or 8 cars are single file. Then you get back here and you've got Mason Foster battling with Greg Holes. They are still side by side all the way around the track. Looked like the 7 might have had a little problem coming off turn 4. He gets it settled in though. A couple more spots back there. It looks like a couple of teammates might be battling side by side back there. The 48 and, no they're not, but the 48 and the 23 were side by side. They have gotten straightened out now as well. Everybody, for the most part, is now single file, just trying to survive the first half. Except for Greg Holes and Mason Foster, who continue to battle side by side, and the lead pack is getting away. Mike Stoddard, right in front of them, has started to open up a bit of a gap on them.
Alrighty, Doug, I am back. Thank you for stepping in there for me for a split second there.
Yep.
So we get back to racing here. Currently working on lap 22. Three-car single-file train right now. Luke Turpin, Kenny Tripp, Tyler Jalbert. I believe these drivers have learned not to get too aggressive early on, because we had an early big one, and already 4 drivers are pretty much done for the day. I should say 5 as well. Chase Johnson, Patrick Sullivan, Tyler Batchelder, Kendrick Cryer, all stuck in the pits because of that situation.
Yeah, I don't think everybody learned from that. I was seeing some more 3-wide battling back mid-pack. A lot of guys have backed out of it, but starting to see as the tires get worn and as time goes on, they've got some green flag laps, and now the passes are actually starting to happen. Some of these guys are starting to work their way up.
Got a nice battle happening for 4th position. We'll put our eyes on that for right now. You got Matt Bear in the 19, battling with Brandon Varney in the 2. Bear's number 19 machine coming in 7th in point standings, 11 points behind the 57, owned by Alex Hallinar, that's in 6th. Bear is doing a pretty good job early on here. Usually you don't expect him to be a consistent top 5, top 10 car, but that butt kicker street stock impressing me so far here.
Yeah, he's had some mid-pack and top 10 runs here lately, but he's not been a top contender out there. Tonight he's running that top 5 and doing a really good job of it, so we'll see how he does throughout the night.
Tyler Jalbert trying to close the gap between him and Kenny Tripp, and a good battle happening for 2nd spot. Meanwhile, they are all about 4 or 5 car lengths, I'd say, right now on race little Luke Turpin. What do you think Turpin has over these other 2 drivers that's helping Turpin get an advantage by about, I want to say, about a 10th of a second a lap?
You know, I think that he did not push as hard. We saw Kenny Tripp have to make his way through the field. Luke Turpin just started up there. He was really patient. He took it very easy on the start because he didn't have to battle anybody. Got away early on the start, and now he's managed to save the tires, get them exactly how he wants them. And you know, he can probably push a little bit harder, but he knows he doesn't really have to, and he's trying to avoid getting to the lap traffic too soon. But he's definitely got a fast car there tonight.
Yeah, lap traffic going to be a factor here shortly. That's Jeremy Leto, the first driver that Luke Turpin will catch up to, currently running in P32. Meanwhile, we got the challenge for second. Jalbert was trying to look underneath there for a moment, but that did not work, and that's going to cost him an opportunity for second. And here comes Barrow looking for third.
Yep, Bear dives it in there. He was just looking for something. We're not seeing a whole lot of using the nose yet, but I would expect to hear in a little bit, once we get past the halfway point, I think those bumpers are going to start getting used a lot more here.
4 cars put them all under a blanket, duking it out for the second position, all in an Amtrak train off of turn 4. Jalbert again thought about looking and said, Bear's the one that's going to try and put a wheel underneath Jalbert. The weapon cuts him off. Meanwhile, Tripp tied off at turn 2. Opens the opportunity up for the 04, but he doesn't take advantage of it just yet.
The car in that top 5 I'm watching closely now, Brandon Varney, he's having to actually back off these guys, getting in the turns and getting off the turns. He is really fast here. He could probably be one of the few that can make a pass to the outside right now. He is flying around here, and I think he might be saving a little something for later because he's definitely just having to play safe right now.
He's doing this, by the way, with a crushed up right front fender on my screen. It's very impressive he's doing this right now, because usually with a damaged fender like that, you're going to lose a bunch of time. And they're, oh my goodness, they're dealing with heavy lap traffic. Our Hendren they catch up to. Hendren lets go of the top of those guys in 2nd through 5. Let's see what happens here. Tripp got really loose there off of the corner.
Yeah, it looked like Tripp was going to make the move 3 wide, managed to get backed out of it, but when he did, it just he lost enough momentum to get himself a little bit loose. I guarantee you he's wanting these guys to move really quick because that gap had opened up to almost a second from him back to Kenny Tripp, and now every lap he's losing a little bit. It's down to about 7/10 now and shrinking rapidly as he gets in this lap traffic, and that's going to be the key tonight for the leader, is just working with the lap traffic and working his way around the lap traffic.
You know, what I'm noticing here is Tripp's really trying to use the gas wicked early here, and now they're dealing with a side-by-side situation here, Doug. As battling, I believe they're battling for position, Paul Coleman Jr. and Jeremy Leto. I don't think that's for position, though.
No, Jeremy Leto is 1 lap down in 32nd. Paul Coleman Jr. is still on the lead lap, just barely in 30th. Jeremy Leto is one that was on pit road for several laps due to a cross.
Caution! Caution flag is out, and I believe it's for PDJ Zeller in the 03. And that is a tough break for the big block team there.
Yeah, PD driving his own car this week just gets a tap from behind, gets around. He was a little bit loose and ends up on his lid. That is going to hurt. This is the first race he's driven in a while, and that's not the way he wanted things to go here tonight.
Even worse, by the way, that's teammate / alliance there of JB Smooth, Jonathan Swartz, putting the chrome horn on PDJ Zeller. Gets another tap there from Sean Andrews, and the weight lift just forces him on his lid, and that is not what PD wants there, and I don't think he's going to be happy at all, especially with it being his teammate. There will be inquiries behind closed doors, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, and we forgot to mention in the pre-race, but tonight they are using the dual pit roads, so that is going to play into some of the strategy as well. That, you know, everybody's got their own pit road to go to. They've got to remember where to enter. I'm sure as the race gets later, we're going to see some mistakes made. I also am looking, and I think a couple of these guys are staying out, trying to pick up some track position here.
Let's bring PD on in here, our in-race reporter. PD, I think we saw what happened there. JB just got into the back of you.
Yeah, that was just unfortunate there. I really wish I could have hung on to it, but he just got into the back of me a little bit more than I think he meant to. And now he unfortunately disqualified. Honestly, I wish I got disqualified rather than him, with him being in the points battle he's in. Just a really unfortunate incident for BBM.
Absolutely. If your car didn't get on your lead, you think you would have had an opportunity to stay on that lead lap?
Yeah, the car is honestly fine. I'm not too worried about the car. It feels okay. Um, I'm going to actually get it back out there right now and try to stay only.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Petey. Good luck.
Thank you, Marty.
All right, that's unfortunate circumstance for Petey. As he just mentioned, JB Smooth in the points battle came in 4th in the standings, and he is about just over 100 points behind Luke Turpin in the points battle.
Yeah, that is a heartbreaker. And looks like just about everybody actually ended up coming to pit road. A few guys looked like they were going to stay out. But the big change here is Matt Baird now in the lead. He passes Kenny Tripp and Luke Turpin on pit road.
So looking at this situation, yeah, Barry wins the race off, unless it was Kenny Tripp, because I have on my scoring, Tripp is ahead of Barry. Luke Turpin, not a good stop for him. Falls back to 4th. Let's tell you who had the fastest pit stop, by the way. And it was Bear with an 18.37. That's like nearly a second and a half faster than other drivers amongst the top 10.
Yeah, that is a crazy fast pit stop in these. And you got to think he probably, well, he didn't need a full fuel load. They've only ran 30, 40 laps. So, yeah, he wouldn't need a full fuel load, and that probably helps just a little bit on getting a quicker pit stop. But that's it's definitely the whole complexion of the race really has changed in this first run between that first wreck and then Petey's wreck, and it's definitely going to be interesting strategy-wise for a lot of these guys.
Tyler McRae also with a fast pit stop, currently in 12th at 15.18. So race control, I believe, is extending this caution period. We'll double check and make sure. Yes, it is. Lights are still on. And race control warning drivers to check your heads-up display. This race brought to you by the XCAL Racing Web Shop tonight. Check out xcalracing.com/shop for all your XCAL needs, from apparel, hats, towels, and more from all your favorite teams. Our newest categories include Everyone is Ugly at 5 a.m. and the legend Will Petey. Check out xcalracing.com/shop. XCAL Racing, iRacing's premier street stock league. So let's reset the field for you here. Matt Bear, Kenny Tripp, row 1. Tyler Jalbert, Luke Turpin is in row 2. Brandon Varney, Greg Holes, row 4. Jordan Babinger, Octavio Rondolello, row 4. And in row 5, Alex Helenar and Blake Wynn. Pace truck is in. Bear can fire first. There he goes, and he checks out of the hotel. Kenny Tripp, though, not far behind as they go into turn 1 here, Doug.
Yeah, they are side by side still, and I'm wondering how long these guys will wait before they settle in. You definitely have the advantage coming off the corner on the outside, but these guys on the inside have the advantage pretty much the rest of the track.
Oh! That's a hard shot there for Kenny Tripp when you think of it off at turn number 4. He's still side by side with Matthew Bear, surprisingly. Now he gets squirrely off at turn 2. He's got to hang on to it. Turpin and Jalbert check up for him. And it's Matt Berry that comes out with the race lead. Clears away from Kenny Tripp. Now here comes Turpin looking to the inside.
That was a crazy change. Everybody's on cold tires, and I think he just didn't account for that. He was pushing extremely hard. Just managed to grab a little bit of wall there as Turpin and Jalbert, everybody's starting to finally settle in single file here. The battles are really going on a little further back as Alex Helenar is side by side with Greg Holes, and they've got Rondoletto there with them.
Yeah, that is Greg Holes, the 57 as well, Alex Helenar, and the 77 Octavio Rondoletto battling for position. That's just inside the top 10.
Rondoletto now being scored in 9th place after starting 19th. I told you he'd sneak his way up here. He's very quiet, but definitely one of the bestest strategy as he gets really close to the back bumper of the 61 of Greg Holes.
Yeah, he almost sent it in there to Greg Holes, the driver leading right now in the XCAL K1 Sauce top 5 as we speak. Blake Wynn, you see there just for a moment scraping the wall. Biggest mover, by the way, in the race so far. He is up 23 positions. How about Gregorio Emiliano Dorso up to 11th, started in the 34th position. I would say this is a good race for him so far.
I definitely would have to agree. He and his car is clean, so he has not been involved in any of the incidents thus far. I'm not seeing any damage. His car looks perfect, and he's picked up a ton of spots.
Battle for the lead heating up. Kenny Tripp all over the spoiler. He gets loose there. Gassed it a little bit too early on the exit. That being the helmet now has to deal with Superman here as they come off the turn. Close call there by Kenny Tripp. Got wicked loose. They're just trying to get on the gas a little bit too early. Trying to get a run on the exit there on Bear.
Yeah, we've seen Kenny Tripp. He's struggling since that last pit stop. I've got to wonder if he's made some kind of adjustment and he's suddenly really not liking it. But he is, you know, as you drive here in these cars, the car starts to tighten up as you burn off fuel. And I'm thinking he might have loosened it up for the long run.
Tripp started in the 5th position, currently in position number 2. Came into the standings 13th for Mainly Asphalt. He's the driver and owner of the number 12 team.
And he is definitely having a good run. We'll have to see how the rest of his team does. But, yeah, I'm really wondering about that adjustment. Is Luke Turpin now right back to the back bumper of the 12 car?
Top 5, you could even say top 6 if you want, with Jordan Baminger, Greg Holes, and maybe even Ron DeLello, all within striking distance of the race leader, Matt Berry. Impressive job right now from the driver of the number 19. And is this like, I think this may be the first time we've really seen him out front for a notable string of laps.
Yeah, he's definitely had once or twice that he's led a lap or two, but he's never led anything substantial this season. But here he is, and he actually looks like he might be starting to open up a little bit of a gap. He's definitely carrying more speed up off the corner than Kenny Tripp, but as he gets into lap traffic, it's going to be very difficult to build up a lead here tonight as they navigate through the lap traffic. The only advantage you have as the leader is if you can put multiple cars between you and then get some clean track to give you a chance to get ahead.
That's Sean Andrews, the 23, the leaders working by, because he is multiple laps down. He has to let the leaders go by. Just got to be careful. Can't create any bad situations with the leaders in that K1 Speed Street Stock machine. Look at all those cars going by him on the bottom. Definitely the line where you want to be. Had a nice battle for third brewing before the leaders got up to each other, to Sean Andrews with Luke Turpin and Tyler Jalbert. Now Turpin has closed it to about a half a car length to Kenny Tripp. So the helmet and Superman looking to duke at it again for a runner-up spot.
Yeah, but the one I'm really watching as it comes on, as the tires get heated up, and as in the long run, it seems like that Tyler Jalbert is just right there to the back bumper, and Brandon Varney as well. He is extremely fast in that 2 car. He keeps getting right to the back bumper and having to back out, and he gets a little too high. The 48 ducks underneath him.
That is the battle there for position number 5 on the track. Babinger taking it from Varney. Varney may lose another spot here. Contact! Babinger and PDJ Zeller going at it there. Here comes Rondello, though, entering the party inside of Varney. Ooh, that was a close call for Varney. Had to check up there or else he was spinning Zeller around.
Yeah, and Zeller is a couple of laps down, so he's staying up high, trying to let these leaders go by and still carry some momentum. And these lap cars, even though they're getting up high, as these side-by-side battles are happening, things are going to get very, very interesting.
Lap traffic comes quickly here at the Fort Tense Mile racetrack. Here's the battle for second. Turpin had a wheel inside of Tripp there, but Tripp outbreaks Turpin there going into turn 3.
Watching them get into the corners the last few laps, it looks like Turpin might be a little faster on the corner entry. They've got the lap car, the 20, right in front of them.
And is someone leaking fluid in front of them? I believe somebody is. I'm not too sure who that is from my vantage point. We're going to get it here shortly.
I cannot tell. It is
That's the 22, Sean Patrick. He brings it down pit road. Here comes Turpin now trying to look inside for the runner-up spot.
And an interesting side note, once he hits pit road, that leaves, it looks like 21 cars of this 37-car field are left on the lead lap now. So a lot of cars in that first caution have lost a lap, and now the 454 to the inside of Kenny Tripp.
Battle for second. It's a drag race across the line. Tripp gets it by just about a door, but the low groove is where you want to be. Tripp trying to power on the exit here off of turn 2. He's got the edge, but Turpin's got the momentum in turns 3 and 4. And now Tripp gets tight. Turpin looking for second spot here at the line. It is Tripp barely by about a bumper. This is great racing here, Doug.
Yeah, it really is, and they are actually, it looks like they're starting to close down on the leader just a hair, and with the lap traffic ahead, these two battling would normally just allow the leader to get away, but that's not the case here. Everybody's got some clean track in front of them, and they even, a little drift up mid-turn by the 454, and he manages to secure second place there.
Good move there by Luke Turpin to make that clearance there, even without making contact with Kenny Tripp. So Turpin gets second, and then right now it is the Rolling Thunder teammates 1-2. Aaron Hillerbush, the owner of your top two cars, Barry coming in the standing 7th in points. Turpin, your points leader, as we said. Let's give you a top 10 rundown here. Barry, your race leader, as they approach lap traffic again. Turpin's in second. Tripp is third. Jalbert fourth. Greg Holz is fifth. Rondelello is in 6th position. Varney in 7th, and he's in a nice battle with Austin Edwards and Jordan Bavinger. A 3-car battle here for 7th.
Yeah, it is getting a little bit crazy, but Rondeletto, he is just the most consistent out there right now. I think that's where his advantages tend to lie. He is not super aggressive. He's extremely smart, has great strategy, and just keeps working his way through the field every single week. And here he comes doing it again. He is now up to 6th place and looking for Greg Holz. He has been faster than Greg Holz, been right to the back bumper. So I think that 5th place is going to change before too much longer.
And now you got it as well. Tyler Jalbert closing in on Kenny Tripp for position number 3. It's a 4-car battle there for the 3rd position. All just running the low line there off of the corner.
Yeah, with the lap traffic ahead, they're having to change up the strategy there just a little bit. It's a little tricky to battle side by side as the lap car is just all over the place in the way right now.
That lap car, by the way, Jeremy Leto in the 17. Kenny Tripp really getting slowed up by that. Same with Jalbert. Now Holz gets a little bit tight there in 3 and 4. Opens the door for Rondelello. And now, does he possibly use Leto as a pick? No, Holz somehow just shuts the door on Rondelello so he could get by Leto.
Yeah, that battle is really starting to heat up, even with the lap car in the mix. Some of these guys, as the 2-car, Brandon Varney is starting to look for a way past Rondeletto here.
Here we go in the battle for 6th position on track. This is like a 6-car battle there, as you just saw Leto scrape the wall there for a split second. Rondelello trying to diamond the corner on Greg Holz off for turn 4. Not working just yet. Looks like the gap just about a 1/4 of a car length.
Yeah, the gap is extremely close, and that's going to allow the 3 lead cars to get away.
Sorry, Doug, we got a battle for the race lead. Turpin inside on Bear off of turn number 4. Bear leads by a door over Turpin, but Superman looks to the bottom, and you've got a new race leader, Luke Turpin, back at the point here at Sobo.
Luke just sent it in there. Once he had that inside line, he just went. It was...
Oh! 3 wide. Sorry, no, I mean, Holz got turned. Holz got turned to the start-finish line. 2-car accident. Got caught up there with Ganglo, and the yellow flag is out. Tough break there for Greg Holz. Was running in the top 10. Nearly flipped it. Had some front bumper damage. Let's go to the replay and see what happened.
Yeah, he just drifted up a little bit coming off the turn, and that lap car was right there. Couldn't do anything. Couldn't go anywhere, and he couldn't get turned back around. The admins had to throw the caution on that one. And he does have some pretty heavy right front and right side damage, it looks like. We'll take a little bit closer look if we can. Yeah, the right front fender is really pushed in, so he's going to be struggling. He'll have to go in and get repairs, and it's worth reminding everybody, they do not have fast repairs. Everything has to be done the old-fashioned way.
Absolutely. So that is a big situation you got to think of. All the drivers, a lot of drivers down pit road, 4 tires and fuel, I think is what they're going to do here. This is the longest green flag run we've had so far today after the 3rd caution.
Yeah, quite a good run actually, and you know, we're not seeing a full fuel run out of these, but the fact that we're getting 30, 40, 50 laps a run despite the way they're battling out here, it's a pretty impressive run out of these guys.
Absolutely, that is for sure. Race off of pit road I've got on my end. Believe Turpin won it, and the rest of the drivers, Dorso, Briggs, and Hallinar, also bring it down to pit road as we speak. So Turpin should be the race leader. We're going to step aside. We'll take a commercial break. Stay with us. Luke Turpin, the race leader in the XCAL Racing Web Shop 350 at South Boston. Okay, awesome. Welcome back here to South Boston. The black flag goes to Greg Holes. 2 drivers get the wave around, that being John Friley and Derek Colson. The XCAL All-Star Race is coming to the virtual Michigan International Speedway May 10th and 11th. The top 20 in XCAL points plus all pole and feature event winners will duke it out for cash and a butt kicker game or two. It starts with the Open May 10th with the winner transferring in, plus 2 fan vote winners, which opens on May 6th. The feature the night after with 3 25-lap segments, caution laps not counting. You can watch it here on How to Suck at iRacing's Twitch and Facebook page. Definitely great to have you along with us for the ride. Marty Sakala alongside Doug Burns here. Lights are still on the pace truck. Should be good to go green this time by. Lights are off the pace truck. We'll see if officials extend it once again. But let's reset the field for you here. Turpin and Bear, row 1. Jalbert and Austin Edwards, row 2, row 3, Babinger and Rondeletto. Row 4, Brandon Varney and Logan Jones. Blake Wynn, Tyler McRae, the top 10.
Interesting note, Gregorio stayed out to lead a lap on that, so a little bit of point strategy playing out there. And obviously if we get a super long run, as they're at lap 95, green flag is in the air. If we get a super long run, that extra lap or 2 of fuel could come into play.
Turpin checks out of the hotel like a bat out of hell. They're side by side for a second. Jalbert got a good run. My goodness, was Barry caught sleeping or what? He just lost a spot there or two on that restart. Race control, by the way, giving a warning to Mason Foster. I believe he may have, I didn't see it though, he may have nearly changed the lanes on the restart or tried to pass. But a warning given to Foster in the 7 from what I'm hearing.
And it looks like the 77 of Rondeletto almost got to third there. Matt Bear finally got it corrected, but yeah, Matt Bear got caught sleeping, and a couple guys managed to get away from him, and Rondeletto now right to the back bumper. Austin Edwards is coming as well.
Here comes Varney inside on Babinger. That is for position number 6 on the track. Varney takes it away after putting a bumper in on Babinger. Now does Babinger use it back? Yes, he does, but Varney gets loose. Hang on to it, Brandon Varney. What a save by Varney. Oh, man.
I can't believe that Varney held on to that. That was just a drift all the way around the corner. Manages to save it, and I guarantee you, before this night is out, we saw a lot of this.
Oh, boy. Sorry there, Logan Jones got a little bit loose there off of turn 4. Go ahead there, Doug.
I would imagine that we started seeing it a couple weeks ago, and we're starting to see a little bit more of it. These guys, if they don't get the chance tonight, caution. Paul Coleman Jr.
Paul Coleman Jr. was running 27th at the time. He's now in the pits. Tough break for the driver of the number 18 machine. Let's go to the replay, see what happened there, Doug.
It looked like, just watching that, it looked like taking another angle at it, but it looked like the 5 car gave him a little bit of a push through as they came off the turn. No, he got loose just right in front of the 5. He actually clipped the 5, but that was all on him. He just got loose coming up off the turn.
Tough break for Paul Coleman Jr. Likely he'll receive the black flag. Possibly, if they say it's a push, it would be a net code situation. I'm not sure how Race Control is going to score that. But let's go through. Tyler McCray is right now exiting the pits, just topping off on tires and fuel. And the number 99 machine, T. Craig, coming in 5th in the standings in a car owned by Steven Rex from the DBR2 team.
Here's an interesting side note. Alex Hallinar, Derek Colson, last 2 cars on the lead lap at the moment, also came to pit road just to top off on fuel. They're the only other cars on the lead lap right now. Greg Holes, Paul Coleman Jr., Petey Zeller, Cole Patrick, and Chase Johnson all on pit road.
Absolutely. Lights are still on the pace car. We'll keep it right here for you. Let the official sponsor of XCAL, Butt Kicker, the official transducer of XCAL Racing, known for their transducers, including the Gamer 2 that adds instant immersion to any game. Unlike a subwoofer that moves air, Butt Kicker products move actual mass, producing a haptic immersion that's powerful and accurate. The winning driver of the 2021 All-Star Race will receive a Gamer 2 unit. We'll also be awarding powerful devices throughout the year after that race, as well as the championship-winning car owner and 2 special events. Use code XCAL20, all one word, to save 20% now through the end of the year at www.thebuttkicker.com.
I wonder how much mass they can actually move. I wonder if it'd be enough to move me.
I don't use a chair for my sim rig or my commentary rig. I use a bed. So unfortunately, I don't think butt kickers work on them at all. So once I get a big renovation to the sim rig and I get a gaming chair, that's when I'll definitely be putting an investment in on the Gamer 2.
Yeah, I know a lot of people really love them. One of the things that professional drivers will say is that the only thing you're missing from iRacing is the feel of the car underneath you. And those butt kickers, the guys that have them, they really swear by them. They say, hey, it gives me that seat of the pants feel that I actually have in the race car.
Going back to green, Paul Coleman Jr. getting disqualified for spinning. Kenny Tripp, Derek Colson, Jose Gaudino were waved around the pace car. They'll get back on the lead lap. Race Control telling drivers to figure this out. Been a good race, though, so far, Doug. We're about to complete lap 107, now on lap 108. It's been pretty quick so far.
Yeah, actually very smooth considering the track and the cars. These cars are heavy and big, but you see they have to get them as loose as possible for the long run and still be stable early on. We've seen a lot of guys sideways just by themselves, and we've managed to keep it green flag so quite a bit. So I'm pretty impressed by what's going on out here.
We've got about 21, 22 drivers on the lead lap. Turpin fires, and we're back to green here at South Boston. Good restart there over Tyler Jalbert. Go ahead.
Off into turn 1. The 454 now has to deal with Tyler Jalbert right to the back bumper, and Rondoletto has snuck his way up into third. This might be his night to get that second win. We've got 2 drivers. I think only 2 drivers have multiple wins this season. Rondoletto might be able to be the third one.
Rondoletto only win this season came at Thompson Speedway Motorsports Park, and definitely a cluster wrecked-filled race indeed here. Jalbert, though, trying to close in the gap there on Turpin, half a car length lead for the 454 machine, looking for a win for the season.
Yeah, and I know we're seeing a lot of respect out there. We're 112 laps in, so just about a third of the way. I would imagine about the time we hit lap 275, that respect is going to go out the window. We see a lot of guys mid-pack that think they should be up front, already starting to use the bumpers. So this is definitely going to be an interesting night. Right now, though, just about the whole field is single file.
Let's go to 8th position. Had a side-by-side battle for a moment there between Blake Wynn and Shane Briggs. Shane Briggs, if you are watching this broadcast once you finish driving tonight, put a number on that machine. We're using Trading Paints Pro here, and we can't even see your dang number, for Pete's sakes.
Yeah, that does occasionally happen with some of these guys, and if you don't have the right settings, I know that one from experience, so hopefully he can get that worked out. That is definitely a little off. Like you said, we've got 21 cars still on the lead lap. The 5 car of Derek Colson is the last car on the lead lap, and he is starting to try and make his way up. They're right in front of him. They're all side by side, so he might actually get a chance here in a minute.
Colson Curley in turn 3, trying to pass Jeremy Leto as we speak. A lot of side-by-side racing mid-pack there. You see John Friley and Alex Hallinar duking at it there in turns 1 and 2. Continuing to go front through the pack. Nice battle here. Tyler McRae, Steven Rex, teammates off of turn 4. Logan Jones getting in the mix-up as well. Excuse me, that's not Steven Rex. That is Mike Stoddard in the 28. Excuse me. That's a nice battle going on for 12th position.
Yeah, it is. These guys are definitely starting to show a little more aggression. There was a lot more patience the first 100 laps, and I'm surprised to see some of the moves that these guys are already making.
Contact there with Shane Briggs. He got the wall there for just a split second with Dorso in the 78. Blake Wynn, by the way, was able to make a pass for 8th position. Mason Foster, how about him having a good race in that 7 machine? You know, when I owned the 52, I had him in as a substitution for one of the races. He did great out. Unfortunately, got disqualified for wrecking Tyler Jalbert twice. But Mason Foster has really impressed me, starting as a free agent.
Yeah, another one having a very impressive run. Jordan Babinger up to 7th after starting in 24th, so he is on the move as well. But he's now to the back bumper of Brandon Varney, and I think he's about to have his hands full trying to get around that car. Varney's been extremely quick, not really been pushing it.
Drivers dealing with lap traffic once again. First driver, R. Hendren in the 21, letting the leaders go on by. All single file for right now on that low line. Tyler Jalber in 2nd, Octavio Rondeletto 3rd, Matthew Bear is in 4th, Austin Edwards 5th, 6th, Brandon Varney, 7th, Jordan Babinger.
And this battle from about 3rd back to about 8th, these guys are all packed up. They're trying to get around the lap car, the 21, and they are all battling nose to tail. Everybody's trying to pick up a position. These lap cars, it's going to make passing very, very tricky, but some of these guys might be able to, if they can get the nose underneath at the right time, they can push somebody up to the outside and use the lap traffic as a pick. So things could get a little bit dicey the longer we get into these runs, and that's a lot of times that's what we're seeing bring out these cautions, is guys trying to get a little crazy behind lap traffic.
Jobber currently dealing with Robert Colgan in the 05. They nearly made some donuts there going into turn 1. Not for position, by the way. Rondeletto just hoping that Jalbert makes a mistake there. Nearly there, a mistake. Trying to tell the 05, come on, don't be racing us. Well, right now, Colgan is in 21st position. So right now, he would have a wave around as we speak. And he can race the drivers that are 1 lap down. That's in the XCAL rule books. And the yellow flag is out once again. Oh, you got 2 truck cars going into it on the back straightaway. Tyler McRae is one of them. The other one is Shane Briggs. These 2 drivers were running inside the top 10. Oh, boy. Big implications in the points again. Let's see what happened here, Dougie.
The Shane Briggs just got a little bit loose coming through the turn and had to give up the position, and as the 99 started coming back up onto the track, he just got into him, and it was kind of unavoidable. Shane just got way loose there, but yeah, that was definitely shaking things up in the top 10.
I think McRae got loose there for a moment, squirrely in turn number 2 when trying to get that car back on the gas, and I think may have just overcorrected it a little bit there, Doug.
Yeah, it looked like it was just a bad situation, one of those racing deals. Everybody's handling was a little bit off, and they met in the middle there. But yeah, definitely a couple of more cars that have been involved, and they also had problems trying to get rejoined on the track and ran into each other again trying to get rejoined. So that without the faster pairs, they need to be as careful as possible, but we'll see what happens here.
From my end here, a lot of drivers down pit road except for your top 5 that stayed out. Bunch of drivers: Austin Edwards, Octavio Rondeletto, Logan Jones, Mike Stoddard, topping off on fuel and 4 tires.
Yeah, it looks like Austin Edwards was the last car to stay out in 6th place, and then Rondeletto was the first car. He gave up his 3rd place to drop down pit road. He comes back out in 7th.
2 laps to go. We will actually 2 laps till green flag. We'll actually step aside here for a quick break. Stay with us. It's XCAL Racing, the premier street stock league on iRacing. Welcome back here to South Boston. Currently about to put lap 131 on the board. Recap of that last caution. Tyler McRae getting the black flag. Robert Colgan, Shane Briggs, Jose Gaudino waved around the pace car. That is a tough break there for Tyler McRae. Came in, by the way, the #1 driver on PD's power rankings as of March 28th. Here we go, back to green for the restart. Luke Turpin, Tyler Jalbert, row 2. Brandon Varney, Matt Bear, row 2. Austin Edwards, Octavio Rondelato, row 3. Jordan Babinger, Logan Jones, row 4. Blake Wynn, Aiden Murray, row 5. Top 4, I should say, stayed out as we go back to green here once again.
Yeah, down off into turn 1, Luke Turpin got a great restart. He is going to keep the lead. Tyler Gilbert's going to slot into second. And after that incident, we're down to 17 cars on the lead lap. These leaders keep it. The longer the green is out there, the more cars are going to be laps down. We might see a situation like we saw a few weeks ago where we only have 5 or 6 cars on the lead lap at the end of the race if things keep going the way they are.
How about Octavio Rondelato there in that 77, trying to get something working on the top side. Tough place to pass there up top there, Doug, as he's looking for position number 4 on Brandon Varney. And up front, up ahead, Bear's looking for second on Jalbert and dives it in, gets a wheel underneath, and he's got 2 there looking for the spot, and the yellow flag is back out again. A lot of cars around. We got the big one. It is a junkyard currently with Tyler Berschelder involved, etc.
And just watching the replay, it looks like Tyler Batchelder is probably where this thing started. They were 3 wide. Batchelder got into the 5 and drifted up. They both got turned, and several cars lost. I just saw 2 wheels go flying, including Tyler Batchelder's wheel, and a couple of cars ended up on the roof. So that was a hard hit that collected quite a few cars. Taking a look at it from Derek Colson. He was just drifting down a little bit. The 53 was there, and when they spun up, collected the 22, the 21. Several cars involved in that. Like you said, there was a parking lot on the back straightaway.
Absolutely. Berschelder, a lot of damage. I believe he is in pit road right now. My goodness, no left front wheel. We're going to still see if we can try and talk with him and see what happened there. Let's try and find Berschelder here in our chat. There he is. We'll move him up in here. Berschelder, Marty here up in the booth. You got a copy?
I got
Tyler Berschelder, Marty up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy with you, Marty.
All right, just take us through your perspective on what happened there in that wreck.
I just came down. I was underneath him, and he just didn't care and just drove me in the inside wall.
You think you got enough not enough damage to continue, or I should rephrase that. You think you'll be fine to continue, maybe a little bit off the pace, or how do you look at this?
After 12 minutes, we'll be back out there.
Okay, thank you, Tyler. We'll move Tyler back into his mainly asphalt chat if we can find it. There we go.
Yeah, and it is interesting to see. We heard him say 12 minutes. I guarantee that we saw that at Texas the first week of the new tire model. Anytime they lost a wheel, it was a 8 to 15 minute pit stop mandatory repair. So he lost a wheel going through there. I think I saw another car that lost a wheel as well. I did see 2 wheels going across the track, so we'll have to figure out who else stays on pit road for an extended time.
Doug, that may be Kenny Tripp, and we've got him here. Kenny, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
What did you see from your perspective? Nowhere to go and just flipped it.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think the 5 chopped the 53 a little bit, and I tried to go high to try to stay out of trouble, but they all collected, and I'm sitting in the pits for 4 minutes.
All right, thank you, Kenny. We'll get you back in the chat. Good luck the rest of the way, man. If you can get back out there.
Thanks, sir.
All right. We tried to get Derek Colson too, but not enough time to get back to green. But what I was hearing, him and Berschelder not happy with each other at all.
No, I wouldn't be either. Normally this early in the race, there's a little bit of give and take. That incident was all take and no give, and 3 wide like that wasn't. It wasn't going to end well any way you look at it.
Colson gets the black flag. Mason Foster, John Fraley, Gregorio Emiliano Dorso waved around the pace car. Here we go, back to green once again to put lap 142 on the board. It's Turpin, Rondeletto, row 1, Edwards and Babinger, row 2. Here we go, back to green once again.
And here we are. Rondeletto just keeps sneaking his way forward. He is now up in second, up there on the high side. And you mentioned him making the pass on the outside earlier. You see the sun is going down. The lights are going to come on. The track temperature is going to drop a little bit. And with them having the multi-groove completely working now, that outside line probably is starting to get a little bit of grip.
Here comes Austin Edwards in the 66, looking for second on Rondeletto. Every race that Edwards has completed in this season has been a top 2 finish, so he is one of the favorites to watch out for today here, Doug.
Oh, definitely, and currently running the top 2 in points, so yeah, he is always one to watch. These guys, all these guys right up here at the front right now, we're seeing them every single week at the front. We even saw them at Texas Road last week, the same group at the front. These are the dominant drivers right now.
Looking to go back-to-back. Last week won the Tri-Yank 342 at the Texas Road Course. Dominant victory for him there over the guy he's battling for second, Octavio Rondeletto, like about a 36-second victory from what I recall. A nice $24.80 payday for his car owner, Paul Coleman.
Yeah, that was a huge night. Had quite a battle going on earlier in the race, but late race incident, and he managed to open up a bit of a gap at the end there and took off.
In the K2 Motorsports Street Stock Machine, K2 sauce, the only official sauce of XCAL Racing, and everything sauce, barbecue sauce, steak sauce, ketchup, and more all in one. The only sauce you'll ever need, also available in hot. We did have one driver, I think, that may have crashed unless he was exiting the pit lane. Derek Colson, I think, spun on the pit road exit, but no one to deal with him. And meanwhile, Luke Turpin has put up a nice gap on that battle for second between Edwards and Rondeletto, nearly a second at the line.
Yeah, he is. He's just loving looking in his mirror right now as Austin Edwards finally clears Rondeletto.
Babinger nearly makes some contact there on the quarter panel of Rondeletto as they come off of turn 4. Rondeletto may have scraped the wall there for a split second. Babinger's got the run underneath, drifts up, tight situation there. Here comes as well Aiden Murray in the 25 car.
Yeah, they are battling hard right here for the top in the top 5, and looks like Rondeletto's going to come out ahead here for the moment anyway, and they'll have to start running down the leader, Luke Turpin, again.
Now you got Murray trying to make a run on the top side here on Babinger for position. Babinger gets loose. He has to save it. And they're 3 wide off of turn 4 for a moment. Here comes Tyler Jalbert in the 04. Hits the brakes, checks up. Accordion situation with Barry and Varney on back.
Wow, that's getting very dicey. They're looking 3 wide. The 57 gets right to the back of the 48. The 04 is right there, and they're just tapping the bumpers right now.
Aiden B. Murray making his XCAL debut today in the 25, usually driven by Bruce Helmuth. Unsponsored number 25 machine, having a good day in position number 4.
And that is impressive for the rookie driver in this series, starting in 30th, now up to 4th. He has been extremely smart, and he just hopped into that car this week, so you know his owner has got to be very, very happy with his performance so far tonight.
Tyler Jalbert, Alex Hallinar, they are battling for 6th position. Hallinar stuck on the outside. Chopping in and out on my screen there for just a little bit. I don't know if you're seeing that too, Doug. Here comes Bear in the 19 looking for the 7th spot on track. Brandon Varney trying to pounce in this too.
It's getting really dicey in the back part of the top 10 here. These guys are starting to turn it up. We were almost to the halfway point, and it's time for some of these guys to start working their way forward. They know they're going to have at least 2 more pit stops, so they're trying to work forward and get the position they want to be in for those last 2 stops.
Austin Edwards, by the way, closing the gap on Luke Turpin when he was side by side with Rondeletto. The gap was nearly a second. It has dropped down to 0.6 of a second. So Edwards is the fastest car on track, and he is closing that gap on Turpin, Doug.
Yeah, his last lap was a 1/10 of a second quicker. He's just clicking those consistent laps off. His last lap was only 2/10 of a second slower than his fastest lap. And his fastest lap equal to that of Luke Turpin. So these guys are definitely on equal footing right now. But looks like Austin Edwards is better on the long run.
Luke Turpin continuing to lead the race. He's led the most laps so far today. Full field rundown here. Austin Edwards is second. Octavio Rondeletto third. Aiden Murray is fourth. Jordan Babinger fifth. Tyler Jabber is sixth. Matt Bear is seventh. Brandon Varney is eighth. Alex Hallinar ninth. Blake Wynn is 10th. Mike Stoddard 11th. Dwayne Robertson is 12th. Logan Jones 13th. Mason Foster 14th. Robert Colgan and Gregorio Dorso duking at it for position number 15. John Friley is in 17th, and then you've got Tyler McRae in 18th. Only 17 drivers on the lead lap from what I have on my end. Alex Gangler 19th. John Bacraccio is in 20th. Jose Gaudino 21st in the pits. Derek Colson 22nd. Greg Holes 23rd. Kenny Tripp 24th. Shane Briggs 25th. Jeremy Leto 26th. Patrick Sullivan 27th, Chase Johnson 28th, Art Hendren 29th, Sean Andrews is 30th, Tyler Batchelder is 31st, and oh, there goes Johnny B at the start-finish line. Do we have a yellow flag? Oh, in front of the leaders! Oh my goodness, that was a close call there by Johnny B. Oh my goodness. Luke Turpin and Austin Edwards were holding their breath there, Doug.
Yeah, just looking back at the replay as they come through 3 and 4, and there was just a little bit of a tap. He manages to get the thing turned around and righted, but the leader's just barely inch by the front of his nose.
I'm very surprised that race control did not call a caution out, but this helps out Austin Edwards as he is here. Quarter of a second to gap, half a car length. Here comes the 66.
He is definitely, I think he might have actually tapped the wall coming off the turn there. He is super fast, and he is pushing for everything that car is worth right now. As he comes through 1 and 2, we'll have to watch closely and see if he taps the wall again, but he is pushing that car very hard right now.
Comparing to Turpin steering right now, the 66 dominating the corners. As for Turpin, he is all the way down low. Now does Turpin play some defense here, try to block? We'll have to see. Now lap traffic approaching the leaders. Is that Gingler in the 82?
Yes, it is, and he was the one that was involved with Johnny B just a little bit ago, so he might have some damage. He was pretty quick earlier in the race, but now he seems like he might be a little bit off pace, and as the leaders come to him, that could get a little bit dicey.
Let's see what happens. Turpin, a tough time trying to get by. Gingler helps out Edwards. Edwards has a run here on the exit. Does not decide to look to the bottom and take the risk to go 3 wide. Stays with Turpin. They want to get by Gingler first. Then Edwards can take a peek to the inside of Turpin.
And Edwards definitely seems to have a run down into the corner. I think if he ever gets that nose inside, it's going to be over for Turpin. Turpin has definitely got to protect that low line, play some defense here.
They catch up as well to the driver of the 999 machine. That is Shane Briggs. And Edwards is there at the bumper.
Getting very, very dicey. I don't think we'll see him use the bumper quite yet, especially being up in the lead. They don't want to risk being caught up in it themselves. But as we reach the halfway point, I would imagine after the halfway point, if Luke Turpin is trying to block too much, there could be a problem.
Update from race control. Shane Briggs' chat has been disabled. So he was not using Whale PD. He was using all teams and drivers appropriately. Remember, race control gives you that, tells you do not talk during green flag if you're in all teams or drivers. Use Whale PD if you want to talk during green flag runs. So we come across the line this time by 175 in the books. 175 to go. And it's time to talk about the XCAL Superfan. Our halfway man, Higgins. You want more Higgins, the XCAL Superfan, outside of the halfway point? Introducing Higgins, the XCAL Spotter Pack. Over 500 messages of Higgins that can be used in any iRacing event. Coming on the Monday of All-Star Week. That is May 10th. Pre-order your copy. Send $10 to president@xcalracing.com with a note, hashtag Where's Higgins on PayPal. Keep in mind the spotter pack is rated R and everything the title implies.
I can imagine it is. I know he finished recording that right before he went MIA, and I'm wondering if maybe the recording of that spotter pack is possibly what sent him away. I know he's been seen all over the world over the last month or so, and nobody can really nail down where he is. But if you've seen or heard of Higgins' location, please let the admins know. Give us the hashtag Where's Higgins so that we can find Higgins and get him back for the halfway point.
Higgins, we miss you, man. I think him, Holly, and their kids are definitely partying with some, what do they usually drink? Busch Lights or Bud Lights? What do they usually drink for beer?
Whatever's cheap and free is my understanding. Last time I checked, we were actually watching at Oxford Plains because beers kept disappearing from coolers.
Luke Turpin, Austin Edwards still battling for the race lead. Edwards being patient right now in that 454 as they try to squam their way through lap traffic. That's Derek Colson they approach. Colson letting these drivers go by. Now you got to be careful. We're in that longest run right now we've had in the race so far. And you see the high side as well as the apron. The marbles are starting to develop. Lap cars got to be very careful trying to let these leaders go by, because if they gas it a little bit too early, they could spin themselves out.
And I am noticing something. If you watch Austin Edwards, he is going through the turns a little bit higher, and he's coming off the turn a little bit higher. He is actually helping work that track in on that high line. I've seen him pushing really, really hard up on that higher side.
Boy.
Right to the bumper. Doesn't
Almost
use
put
it.
the chrome horn. That was close. And yeah, Edwards, you can see if you look on his onboard, he's easily diming the corner. Got to run there off turn 2 on Turpin, but does not decide to look. What do you think Turpin's thinking right now here?
Oh no. He is probably extremely worried. We'll take a lap around with Austin. As you see, the start finish line is actually at the end of the straightaway as he gets right to the back bumper of Luke Turpin there. And you can see he's going right to the red line. He is staying right on the bottom this time around, but he has been up at the top part of the track, moving the line upward every few laps. So I think that outside line's really starting to come in, and I think Austin prepared for that.
I think he's ready to make a pounce here on Turpin for the race lead. Let's see what happens. Next lap car they catch up to. So I'm trying to look here on my screen on who that driver could possibly be. I think, is that, that's the 06, I believe. No, I think that's the 08 of Logan Jones. Nope, that's the 06, I believe, of John Friley.
I do believe so. Trying to check and see if we can get a
And
look at
it is.
And
Friley
And Friley is going to be fighting. He is the last car on the lead lap in 15th. Gregario right in front of him. Now, Gregario did stay out earlier
Here we go.
Score some points.
Oh! Pit stops are happening right now, and by the way, Turpin does make the stop on down to a slow 35-mile-an-hour pit speed. We got some drivers up in the wall of them, I can hear. Other drivers missing their pit stops. Austin Edwards, the race leader. Greg Hull's now down pit road. So now in our longest run of the day, pit stops are taking place. Talking with Big John earlier today before the green flag came out, he expected an 80-lap fuel run, and I believe that's what we're on right now.
Yeah, I'd heard 80 to 90, but most of these guys are going to be conservative and do 80 laps, so that's going to put them at 270 and then 350. They can make it on one more stop from here, so I would imagine Austin Edwards isn't going to stay out there that much longer. He's probably going to try and get around the 06, put him a lap down. That gives him a little bit of defensive position as well once he goes to pit road. And this pit road entry is tricky.
Yes. Something as well to consider, by the way. Before we went green last time by, Austin Edwards came in for 4 tires and fuel. Luke Turpin stayed out, by the way. So that is something to keep in mind. Austin Edwards is able to use his tires longer, and when he comes in, he'll have the fresher tires compared to Turpin. So that will be interesting to see what happens where they cycle through after pit stops. Edwards the leader. Ron DeLotto is second. Aiden Murray, the highest spot he's been in today, he's in third. Jordan Babinger fourth. Tyler Jalbert fifth. He's in a nice battle there for that position with Matt Berry.
And it is interesting to note that second place Octavio Rondeletto started in 19th. Third place Aiden Murray started in 30th. And fourth place Jordan Babinger started in 24th, so these are guys that have just worked their way through the chaos, through pit strategy, and through very smart, fast driving, have worked their way through the entire field to be up here at the front.
Barry's got to run in that HTSAI butt kicker machine. Here comes Brandon Varney. It is a traffic jam on the I-90 going down the back straightaway into turn 3. Battling it out for position number 5. Bears got it. Here comes Varney inside on Jalbert. He takes away position 6.
They are getting very, very dicey here coming down to the next pit stop. And as I said, from here they can make it on one more stop. Some of these guys are going to stretch it out. Any position they can pick up before the green flag stops happen, that's just beneficial to them in the long run here. And, you know, some of these guys might try and stay out, wait for the next caution. We've gone a long time without a caution, so we'll see what happens.
And if a yellow flag does comes out right now, by the way, I believe that would help out Luke Turpin, because actually, you know what? That would actually hurt Luke Turpin, because he's currently 3 laps down behind Austin Edwards. And if a yellow were to come out as we speak, Edwards, I believe, would still accumulate the race lead. He's got a 2.5-second lead, though, on Rondello. Let's continue on and watch this battle. It's now for 4th, as Bear is close, and same with Varney. They both closed in on Babinger for 4th here.
Yeah, and they've got lap traffic up on the high side and directly in front of them, so that's going to come into play as well. But this battle is really starting to heat up. The 48, the 19, the 2, all right there in the battle, and the 454 is coming through as well.
My goodness.
That was
Turpin
a crazy move.
Turpin just shoved his way by Varney, telling him, dude, I'm on fresh tires. Get the heck out of my way. You see Leto there scrape the wall. Now, does Turpin do the same thing to his teammate, or does his teammate let him go by? The teammate lets him take the bottom.
Yeah, I would not imagine his teammates are going to fight. They work together really well week in and week out, and they are, I'm sure, communicating, and that is how he's able to get by. And the 48's going to let him by easily, so these guys continue to work their way forward rather quickly on these fresh tires.
Now does Babinger come down in front of Bear? I thought for a moment if Babinger was stuck up high, that Bear could have possibly used that as a pick situation. And he does, actually, a lap later. Here he goes to the inside looking for 4th. The drivers that come in, the Babinger comes in 2nd, Bear comes in 7th in points. Great battle amongst 2 drivers in the top 10 of the XCAL owner standings.
Yeah, they continue just battling side by side. Neither one of them is given an inch, and they've got the 2-car, Brandon Varney, right there on the back bumper. Varney is just waiting on one of them to make a mistake. He is ready to pounce as well as he looks to the outside now.
Definitely taking his time for right now. Bear thought about shaking a little peek down to the bottom, and Austin Edwards has made his way down pit road. Slow speed, 35 miles an hour through the pits. He'll have about, I want to say, 10, 15 laps maybe, fresher tires compared to Turpin. Also down pit road, you've got Logan Jones and Alex Talinar. So the lead now goes to Octavio Rondeletto in the 77. A 2-second lead, and it is just a mess for the runner-up spot. Smorgasbord with Bear, Varney, and Babinger for 3rd, I should say.
Yeah, this is getting really, really messy, and because of the pit strategy here, these guys have a ton of lap cars in front of them that are on fresher tires, and they have cars coming off of pit road on fresher tires. They're going to be trying to work their way past them as well. So things are about to get really interesting. Some of these guys need to think about getting into pit road now that the leaders both have fresh tires. Octavio Rondeletto is still out there, but I would not expect him to stay out very much longer.
Babinger came in, Foster came in. Bear and Varney have yet to come in. I believe, from what I'm looking at, the top 6 that were on the lead, are currently on the lead lap, have yet to pit.
And it looks like Varney and Jalbert are coming to pit road right now.
And they come together, and as you saw there, I think you may have seen it too, but the 21 car of Hendren missed pit entry. He had to come out of it, or else he would have gone called for speeding. So Rondeletto is going really long on these tires. I think he's trying to stretch it, maybe get the freshest tires of them all. That could help him out, try and get closer to Edwards and Turpin after he pits. But my good, do you know those brake rotors, by the way, Doug? They are glowing. Look at them, all the way red.
Yeah, they are definitely pushing it. He's been out there for 83 laps, as has Murray at this point. A couple of guys a little further back, Dorso and Edwards, have also been out for the same length of time. But yeah, he's got those brake rotors heated up, and they are all the way around the track. You usually see the glow go away on the straightaways. That's not the case. He's red all the way around the track. He is using those up as the tires wear.
Update, by the way, after Edwards pitted, Luke Turpin was able to get by him up to a 3 3/4 second delta between him and Edwards. That would be for the provisional lead as it stands. Aiden Murray coming in, so we've yet to see Octavio Rondeletto and Blake Wynn come down pit road, and Turpin is dealing with a flurry of lap traffic.
And
oh, he got into Jones! Oh, Turpin's gonna get spun! He's involved in it! And this is gonna change everything! Does Edwards get by it? The yellow flag is out! Edwards does get by it, and Turpin's not gonna be happy at all!
And the smartest move out there on the track was a 77. Octavio Rondeletto was diving to pit road as that happened, managed to get back up on the track, and did not hit pit road, so he has a distinct advantage here. He's got several more cars trapped a lap down, and it looks like the 454 just got a little loose, and several cars collected there. Wow.
Watching once again, I think Turpin's gonna get called here. He just got tight. Into Jones. You see Blake Wynn gets a piece of it. He was in second, by the way, at the time.
Watching this again as they go down. Yeah, he did. He just pushed way up. It looked like the back end got a little squirrely, but several cars got a little piece of it. I don't think substantial damage on many of them, but a lot of cars involved in that. And Octavio Rondeletto, if my scoring is accurate, is the only car on the lead lap at the moment.
I think he is, so that will change everything in this race. Rondeletto should come through as the leader. Blake Wynn possibly could stay on the lead lap here, depending on how much damage he uses for optional, and he may actually come out here. There may be two drivers on the lead lap. I'll have to see. Watch Wynn closely here, and we'll have to see if Rondeletto gets on by.
Well, Rondeletto gets off pit road first. Here comes
and
Wynn
Wynn
right
gets
now.
out. Wynn gets out. So 2 cars, from what the looks of it to me, will be on the lead lap. Possibly, but don't count me on that. Or actually, no, you're right. Rondeletto, I think, is the only car on the lead lap. We'll check for a moment right now. We'll step aside. The XCAL Racing Web Shop 350, 217 laps are in the books. Now make it 218. Octavio Rondeletto, the leader. Welcome back, Octavio Rondeletto, the race leader, after 220 laps this time by. Tri-E Inc., an official partner of XCAL, builds walk-in coolers and freezers for grocery stores and big box stores in the southeastern United States, covering a geographical area from Florida to Texas to Virginia. They are an excellent source for installation, repair, and maintenance. Contact them at trieinc@gmail.com. So this race, if you're just joining us, just changed. We had a cycle of green flag pit stops. Octavio Rondeletto was the leader. He stretched it out, did not come in yet. And as we look at this, I've got 3 drivers that are on the lead lap. Him, Austin Edwards, and Aiden Murray.
Yep, Austin Edwards and Aiden Murray look like they got the wave around. Octavio also went back to pit road to top off on fuel under caution. He stayed out as the caution came out. He was headed to pit road, made a smart decision, got back up on the track, maintained the lead. So now he's only got 3 cars on the lead lap. And Austin Edwards is quite a ways behind him, several positions back on the track. That's Octavio's definitely got an advantage on this restart.
So this thing's going to be a while, by the way, because of all the drivers that are trapped a lap down here. Luke Turpin got black flagged for causing the wreck. We watched, you saw it on your screen. Got into Logan Jones and got turned around there trying to save it. Wave arounds that go up back on the lead lap. We've got Blake Wynn, but I believe he's gone back a lap down to fix some more damage. Austin Edwards, Aiden Murray are second and third. They are the only 3 cars that are on the lead lap. Luke Turpin restarts in 4th, but remember he's got the black flag to deal with, by the way. Matt Bear is 5th, Jordan Babinger 6th, Brandon Varney 7th, Tyler Jalbert 8th, Mason Foster 9th, and Mike Stoddard is 10th, and the pace car is in. We are back to green.
An interesting way, we saw this happen at Southern National, but these guys, the leader, Octavio, he's got 5 lap cars in front of him. He's going to take care of some of these guys fairly easily. Some of them will probably give him a hard time. Austin Edwards is way back in the pack, so he's got a lot of work to do just to catch back up to the leader if he can.
Update from race control, Blake Wynn's chat has been disabled. Edwards pulling away a little bit on Aiden Murray. They are right beside each other when it comes to positions, with positions on the track. Edwards currently about a half second ahead of Murray, as was Murray just scraping the wall? Nope, I believe it was another car as well. Few other drivers, I believe, are under a lap behind second and third. You got Bear in 4th, Babinger 5th. We'll watch Babinger and Varney as they do get it for a top 5. These two have had a great ruckus all day today.
Yeah, they have been nose to tail, back and forth, off and on all night, and they're not getting away from each other. They're battling for the top, to stay in the top 5. Babinger has picked up, he started in 24th, he's up to 5th, so he's definitely got some speed. Matt Bear has managed to hang on to the position. Brandon Varney as well started in 12th, now up to 6th.
There they go, there they go. That's the 23 car around. That is Sean Andrews. And into it as well, Johnny B with the ARCA brakes late in turn 4. Multi-car accident. And it brings the yellow out, and it puts 3 more drivers on the lead lap. From my looks of it, it's going to be Babinger, Varney, and Bear. We'll have to check. But let's go to the replay and see what happened.
Yeah, the 5 just barely tapped the 23, got him turned around, and a couple of cars got collected there. Pretty heavy damage on the 23 car. If he gets back out anytime soon, it'll be a shock.
Take a look at it from my end. Yeah, Colson got into him, and around goes Andrews, and then Johnny B into it with nowhere to go. Let's see if we can talk with Sean Andrews there in the 23. I don't think I saw him today on our broadcast chat, but we're going to go through and see if we can find him here.
While you're doing that,
yep, Andrews is in here, so we will move him in. Sean Andrews, Marty Sakala up in the booth. You got a copy. And Andrews, don't use your chat. Use Discord chat, please.
Is that better?
Yep, you got it. All right, just take us through what happened there. Colson getting in the back of you. He just got called for the DQ. Take us through your perspective on what happened in the spin.
Yeah, I was getting down into the corner. I knew the leaders were coming, so I was trying to stay up high to give him the inside, and he got into me, and I couldn't save it.
Did you think you were going to be able to keep going without all that damage until Johnny B got into you?
Just trying to make some laps, get to the end. Didn't plan on winning. I just wanted to be able to make all the laps, and this is my first race I've made, so I was looking forward to it.
All right, thank you, Sean. We'll let you go.
Thank you.
All right. If you saw there, by the way, Octavio Rondeletto came down pit road as well. He's still the race leader on my end.
Yep, he is, but he had to be held. Pit exit was closed when he got to it, and that allowed a lot of cars to get back around to the lead lap after he gets delayed at pit exit. So now you've got at least, it looks like 13 cars now back to the lead lap.
Absolutely. So a lot, and the race is going to change once again. Colson got disqualified. That's his second accident he has caused today. Jalbert, Friley, Dorso got called for the wave around the pace car. Got about 115 laps to go when we come across the start-finish line, and 13 cars on the lead lap. We'll tell you who they are right now. Octavio Rondeletto, Austin Edwards second, Tyler Jalbert third, Aiden Murray fourth, Jordan Babinger fifth, Brandon Varney sixth, Bear now goes to sixth, I should say. Foster seventh, Stoddard eighth, Wynn is 10th, Murray still 9th, Turpin 11th, Logan Jones 12th, and Alex Counter 13th. Watch that closely between Jones and Turpin, because I would not be surprised if Jones had a little payback on Turpin for what happened earlier.
Yeah, that was definitely an interesting incident earlier on, and I would fully expect to see, as it gets later in the race, if somebody needs to be moved, they're going to do it. And a huge shout out to the new driver, Aiden Murray, picking up all these spots. He is still being scored in 13th right now in that 25 car after starting 30th, his rookie race, and he is doing a great job. And, of course, Octavio started in 19th and currently leading.
Here we go. Rondeletto brings the field back to green, fires at first, and he catches the 66 of Edward sleeping. Here we go, back to green at Sobo.
Off into turn one, the front two are lined up, and everybody behind them is side by side. They're going to take off, and Austin Edwards already starting to look for the lead here.
He's even going below the yellow line onto the marbles there, trying to take a peek underneath Rondeletto. Gap is half a car length as they are bumper to bumper, battling for the race lead.
The third place car, the 04 of Tyler Jalbert, is stuck back there behind some lap traffic. It's going to take him a while to get up there, and meanwhile these two guys are going to be able to run away. Even if they continue battling, they're still going to be able to open up a lead, and if they get to lap traffic before the 04 gets cleared, they might actually have a chance to put some distance there.
Jalbert about 2 seconds behind the race leader. Edwards thought about looking to the bottom, backs out of it for a moment. Didn't want to put the bumper to Rondeletto. These two drivers again finishing 1-2. They were just in the Uno reverse way last race at the Texas Motor Speedway road course. Edwards looking to go back-to-back and trying to make a pass here on the high side and maybe try and go for the diamond here into the corner or go for the crossover.
Yeah, Edwards has been looking at that high line all night long, trying to get it worked in. It looks like he's starting to show, and Rondeletto smartly just moves up about a half a lane there and is preventing him from using that high line too terribly well. So Edwards, if he wants to get around on the high side, he's going to have to go way high. He's going to have to drive it in there really hard.
Rondeletto increasing the gap by about a bumper, but Edwards seems like he's really good on the entry. Rondeletto the advantage of the exit. Would you agree?
Definitely. Edwards has been really good on entry all night long, and he seems to get deeper into the corner than just about anybody else. The only other car, I would think that Brandon Varney is about the only other one that could drive as far into the corner, but he does not have he cannot get up off the turn nearly as well as the others.
Nice battle going on, by the way, for 6th place real quick. Matt Bear, I should say, Jordan Babinger, Brandon Varney, Matt Bear, Mason Foster duking at it for the 4th spot on the track. Going back to the race lead, Edwards peeked underneath but could not find a run up to the quarter panel.
Yeah, and he's just going to keep testing Rondeletto. Rondeletto probably is not paying that much attention to the mirror right now. He knows he's fast. He knows he's definitely consistent. That 66 is always fast, but sometimes consistency can become a problem when he's trying to battle with these top guys, trying to find a way around, and it looks like Octavio is just going to be patient and try and keep the car going the right way.
Only 4 leaders, I believe, so far in this race. It's been Luke Turpin, Matt Bear, Octavio Rondeletto, and Austin Edwards. But Rondeletto tight there in turn 4. Here comes Edwards, but he got a little bit squirrely on the exit of turn 4, and that does not work out. Rondeletto still maintains and holds serve.
Yep, for the moment, Rondeletto actually opened a little bit of a gap as the 66 had to save it. Right back to the back bumper, though, and starting to look to the inside. Rondeletto looks like he's moving up half a lane on exit. He knows the 66 cannot get the turn exit. He can get in there really well, but he does not get the exit that the 77 does, and the 77 is definitely taking advantage of that.
Quick update, by the way, Aiden Murray just passed Luke Turpin for 10th position on the track. That's a very rare sighting. You see an XCAL, and there we go. Edwards underneath. Here we go for the race lead. He got the bumper on the exit on Rondelotto of turn 2. He looks off of turn 4, side by side to the line. Rondelotto has it by about a door and scrapes the wall there.
And that scrape is probably what's going to cost him the lead here, unless he can get that thing going.
Wow!
He does it.
What an exit for Rondelotto. Clears Edwards and remains out in front. Under 100 laps to go, by the way, here in South Boston for the XCAL $2 Tuesday Series. It is the XCAL Racing Web Shop 350. Nice battle for the race lead between Rondelotto and Edwards in turn 4.
And that is just getting a bit crazy. I cannot believe Rondelotto. He's been really fast up off the corner, but Rondelotto just showed he's got a little bit more than he's letting Austin Edwards know about. I think he might actually be able to pull away. It looks like he's not going as fast as he wants, or as fast as he can. In fact, his lap times are 2 to 3 tenths slower than his fastest lap, and he has not been on those tires for very long.
Absolutely. Edwards, comparing the last lap, even at 16.50 on my end, it would have to come down to the thousandths marker there as Rondelotto continues to lead. Let's compare lap times here once again. 16.50 once again on my end, and now we got lap traffic, which could definitely change everything. That is Art Hendren in the 21. The leaders are approaching.
Art's usually really good about letting the leaders go by, so I imagine they're not going to have to battle him too much. But the next car up, I would imagine that might be a slightly different story. We'll have to see how things play out as they both get by Art Hendren. And the 66 actually started looking to the inside as they were coming by the lap car.
Yeah, Rondelotto shut the door there. Lap 2:57 on the boards. Car length lead for Rondelotto over Edwards. We go on back. Nice battle for 4th position. A change there. Bear is taking that away from Babinger, and Mason Foster is in the mix in the Twisted Chassis Machine, filling in for Jeff Edgar tonight. He's doing a heck of a job in that number 7.
Yep, all the way up to 6th, Babinger up to 5th, Matt Bear up to 4th. These guys are all moving towards the front very, very quickly, turning some really fast laps out there as well.
Rondelotto uses Gengler as a pick, shuts the door on Gengler. Edwards still had to deal with him on a side-by-side situation in the dirty air. Oh, Turpin! Turpin just got turned. The yellow is out, and Turpin is now trapped a lap down. Second accident he's been in today. This is going to be an interesting replay.
And it looks like the 12 car just got a big run off the turn. The Turpin did not, and the 12 car just got into the back of him. He was battling side by side with the 25 and just didn't have the momentum up off the corner.
That one easily going to be on the helmet, but the second accident today for the points leader. Turpin falling back to 13th, and the gap closing in on the points for Jordan Babinger.
Babinger now moving up. Looks to 4th. Matt Bear and Mason Foster are going to pit road, so they're going to top off. And we are under 100 laps. There's going to be a few guys out there that can stretch with about 90 laps to go.
Rondelotto comes in pit road. Austin Edwards stays out. Same with Tyler Jalbert. Brandon Varney, I'm trying to see if he stays out too. Yes, he does. He assumes 3rd from what I know. Now Edwards and Jalbert and Varney come in. That 2 pit stops here at South Boston, or the 2 pit lanes, I should say, they just keep confusing me here, Doug.
Yeah, they do get a little bit, they're a little bit different. It's about like Bristol, but these pit roads are a lot more difficult to navigate. And Rondelotto only took right side tires. I watched his pit stop closely. He took right side tires and fuel. He should be able to go the distance if he got a full tank of fuel here, and I would bet he did. He took every gallon he needed, and he only needed to take right sides at the same time. He's going to retake the lead. Matt Bear looks like he's going to come out 2nd. Babinger now up to 3rd after starting 24th.
We'll step aside here for a break. 263 laps in the books. Rondelotto continues to lead at South Boston. Sim Racing Esports meets crypto and blockchain technology. Earn Sim Racer coins, buy setups, paints, coaching, or join realistic leads. You can learn more about that at simracercoin.org. Sim Racer Coin. Racing is life. Another caution out. Turpin's second spin of the day. The black flag goes to Kenny Tripp. That is his second. That's his first black flag of the race, or his first strike. Mike Stoddard, Mason Foster have been waved around the pace car. 12 cars still on the lead lap. Lights are off the pace truck here. We got about, I want to say, just under 85 laps to go, and we're going to extend the yellow once again. So, Octavio Rondeletto takes 2 tires on the stop, and I believe the same for Matt Bear and Jordan Babinger. Austin Edwards falls back 2 spots to 4th.
And I know for a fact Rondeletto can run 85 to 86 laps on a tank of fuel. He did it on that long green flag run, and that's how he managed to assume the lead and put quite a bit of the field lap down there briefly. So he can make it from here, and several other guys ran 82 to 83 laps, but he's ran the longest on fuel. We'll see if anybody else ends up running out. If we get another caution, the fuel mileage really won't matter.
Field strategy could be in question here, indeed. Here we go back to green. Rondeletto and Bear the front row. Babinger, Edwards, row 2. Aiden Murray completes the top 5. Here we go back to green. Rondeletto catches Bear sleeping on the restart. And here comes Babinger inside, looks for the runner-up spot. He takes it away. Babinger to position number 2.
And here comes the rookie in the 25, Aiden Murray. On the inside, he is moving up a couple of positions. He's got a nose inside the 19, so he might pick up another position. No, the 19 gets out there, and the 19 slips into 3rd. Aiden Murray still having one heck of a run for his first race in XCAL, up to 4th.
And Bear wants 2nd back from Babinger off of turn 4, side by side off of the corner. Ooh, Bear may have gotten a little bit squirrely there on the exit of the turn. You got side by side for 2nd. You got side by side racing for 4th, 2 by 2 into turn 3.
And it looks like Art Hendren might have been involved in an incident with Mason Foster a moment ago. Let's take a quick look. They're stopped on the
yellow.
Front
Yeah, it is Foster. Yes, it is Mason Foster. The yellow flag is back out once again. And a tough break for Mason Foster. He was having a great run. Gets involved into it with our 100. Doug, let's get a replay.
Well, it looks like the 7 just got extremely loose and went down. Mason and Art get together as the 7 spins down to the inside, and that's what brought us under caution. The 7 was stuck down there on the bottom, so they couldn't leave it green.
Last time we talked about him was running inside the top 10, but absolutely a tough break there for Mason Foster indeed. They get their cars back on going. Alex Hallinar is down pit road just to top off on fuel, so we know he's going to be good to the end as we are now within the 80-lap fuel window.
I think anybody that stopped on that last stop with these caution laps, they're going to be able to save quite a bit of fuel here. I think anybody that stopped on the last stop is good for the rest of the race. And the question is, did anybody stay out? And I don't believe anybody in the top 10 did. And with only 11 cars on the lead lap, now we've got about half of those lead lap cars on pit road, as Brandon Varney, Mike Stoddard, and Gregario. Haven't talked about him much, but he's in 12th after starting 34th, so he's worked his way up quite a bit.
The XCAL has made several improvements to both the FU and K2 virtual sticker programs. Higgins may still be missing, but you can share your appreciation by clicking the new button on the menu bar on the XCALRacing.com website. And as we look at the FU top 5, Jeremy Leto leading Tyler Jalbert 132 to 91, Richard Holliday 90, Bruce Helmuth 49, Paul Coleman with 34. The Sauce top 5 brought to you by K2, Greg Holes 14, Paul Coleman Jr. 13, Luke Turpin 11, Ron Walters 8, and Matt Bear with 6.
Yeah, those are always interesting to watch throughout the weeks and watch who comes up. And there's been a couple of races this season where those FUs have jumped dramatically. We saw it on the tiny circle at Oxford Plains, and the week before, I just went blank where we were the week before that, but those 2 tiny circles back to back, those numbers jumped dramatically.
You can see the 05 Robert Colgan getting waved around the pace car. We'll confirm the black flag. It was on Mason Foster. Gregorio Emiliano Dorso, Luke Turpin, Robert Colgan get waved around. So reports Dorso back on the lead lap. For right now, we are doubled up, by the way. Should be 1 to green this time by.
And I do believe Dorso actually lost his lap as he went into pit road to top off, and then got back out there and just got in the right position to get back, to stay on the lead lap. Currently running in 12th. Blake Wynn 11th, and Brandon Varney in 10th.
Next week, the XCAL Racing $2 Tuesday Series goes to the 3 turns of Concord Speedway. That should be a fun one indeed. 3 unique corners. Here we go. Ready for the restart. Under 80 laps to go. Actually, under 75. Rondeletto, Babinger, the front row. Bear and Murray, row 2. Here we go. Rondeletto fires out like a bat out of hell.
And Rondeletto, another good restart. He's got everybody napping on every restart thus far since he's been in the lead. And he definitely has the advantage. He's right in front of Babinger, and I do think he is faster than Babinger tonight. I don't know that Babinger's going to be able to get to his rear bumper. And that's
Yellow. Jeremy Leto has crashed. Mason Foster, Cole Patrick, Godino, Hendren. It is a junkyard once again.
Looks like they came off the corner, and the 28 just got loose. The 17 was already up in the wall. He ends up on his roof as well, and several cars just got caught with the with cars going up to the high side and blocking up the entire track.
Leto going up on his roof. I'm going to try and get an alternate angle here just to see what happened with the 28 machine, and that could be the DQ on Mike Stoddard. I think he was already black flagged early in the day. He got into Brandon Varney there, and that's what causes the entire thing. There's Mason Foster involved. Ooh, he took a shot there as well. Trying to see who else from my perspective. Got the 22 involved too.
Just several cars. Once, I think the 28 might have gotten a shot from behind that sent him up the track. The 17 was already in trouble up on the wall.
Let's try and talk with Jeremy Leto and see what he saw from his perspective. We got to find him first off here. Give us one moment here, folks. We do not have Jeremy Leto, so we will not talk with him at this point. We are already at 2-2 to the restart. Tough break again for Leto. This was a track where he made his XCAL debut back in 2015.
And still only 12 cars on the lead lap. Logan Jones and Gregorio are the last 2 on the lead lap in 11th and 12th. Tyler Gilbert still right where he started in 10th. He's been back and forth all night. And Octavio, you know, he's managed to be pretty dominant here tonight. Once he got to the lead, nobody's been able to really get around him. We'll see if that can continue. And everybody should be good on fuel from here.
Gonna let you know on something right now. Derek Colson and I believe the owner for Sean Andrews, Joe Campbell, are duking at it in the Discord. They are not happy with each other, and that is what short track tempers will do to you here in the XCAL Racing Series.
Short tracks under the lights always breed the tempers, and as we get later in the race, I guarantee you tempers are going to get a lot worse here. And it looks like the lights just went back on the pace car. They should have been stacking up, and the lights are back on the pace car, so they're going to go at least one more time by.
So Stoddard gets the black flag. Turpin, Foster, Colgan get waved around the pace car here. And race control is telling drivers, please stay off of each other. We don't have that many laps left. Get them green to the end. So we are doubling them up. 13 drivers are on the lead lap. Turpin, Foster, Dorso are back on the lead lap on lap number 285.
And if I was on that outside line, I would be sitting right where I could see the 77 car, where I could see just the front of his nose. And the second that that nose started pointing upward, I'd be on the gas. That 77 has caught him napping every single restart. These guys, they're going to have to do something if they want any chance at Rondoletto. But as it stands, the top 5, he seems to be the fastest one out there, except for Austin Edwards, who's in 5th. Might be able to get to him and do something with him if he has enough laps.
Rondoletto, Babinger, the front row. Bear and Murray, row 2. Austin Edwards completes the top 5. My goodness, Rondoletto's just been flawless on restarts today. Oh my goodness, and a great restart from Matthew Bear takes away 3rd from Murray. Make go for 2nd here on Babinger.
Looking down on the low side, he gets the nose there. He's got it to the inside just barely. Babinger manages to hold him off, but they are getting late in the race, just over 60 laps to go. They're getting a little bit more aggressive and a little bit more dicey. The rookie, Aiden Murray, there on the outside in the 25. He is pushing that high line extremely hard, trying to get to 3rd.
Impressive debut right now for Aiden Murray, currently in P3. May lose it to Bear here, go back to 4th spot. Meanwhile, Babinger is cleared away. Edwards still stuck in this scurry here in 5th. You got Hallinar, the Charlotte winner, ranked in 6th. Brandon Varney's in 7th.
And I am watching Austin very, very closely. He's got him side by side right in front of him. He has nowhere to go, and he knows he's faster than these guys. He knows all he needs is that opening. We saw 3 wide attempts early in the race. A couple of them worked, a few of them did not. I would imagine as we get down to about 50 laps to go, Austin is not going to be that patient. He's probably going to end up having to move somebody if he wants to get to the front.
We're trying to watch 2 battles on your screen. Aiden Murray, Matt Bear, that's for 3rd spot. And then you got Brandon Varney, Alex Hallinar, that is for 6th position on the track. Nearly a netcode situation between Hallinar and Varney, and the yellow flag is back out once again. It's for John Brancaccio, and he has pulled it in the pits. Let's see what happened.
Taking a look. Looks. I'm watching him to see. He got loose.
And into Turpin, and front end damage to Turpin. The night goes from bad to worse for your points leader, and Johnny B is killed. Upside down he goes.
And the 61 was collected. He was extremely fast earlier in the night. Looked like the 22 got caught in that one as well.
We'll see if we can find John Brancaccio and talk with him.
Luke Turpin has got heavy front end damage now.
That's a tough break. All right, let's talk with Johnny B. Johnny, you got a copy?
Yes.
Just take us through what happened there. Looks like you got loose there off of turn 2.
I got loose, and let's see. Hold on 1 second. I just got loose, and the car just came around on me, and I couldn't hold on to it, and had a whole swarm of guys behind me, and just nowhere to go. And
you think you'll be able to continue it, or this could be the night for you?
I'm still towing right now. I probably got about 8 minutes of repairs.
All right. Thank you, Johnny. We'll let you back in your chat.
Yeah, I'm not having a good night, but thanks.
All right. So still continuing to remain under caution. Why don't we talk with some of the leaders right now? Let's see if we can get Barrett in here into the chat. Currently running in 2nd spot. Matt Bear, Marty, everything at the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Been a good run for you here so far. How you liking the car handling?
Honestly, it's handling a whole lot better than I thought it was going to. I mean, I set it up for the late run, but I mean, it's drove real good all throughout the race. I'm very surprised.
Do you think you could possibly have something here for Octavio Rondoletto? He's been really good at the restarts, and so have you.
We'll see, man. We'll see. I like to keep it clean. He races me good, so I'm gonna race him good. I'm gonna try to at least.
All right, sounds good. Matt, good luck the rest of the way. All right, that's Matt Berry currently running in position number 2. Let's see here. We got Austin Edwards in 3rd. Let's go to Brandon. Let's see if we can talk with Brandon Varney, currently running in 4th spot. He's from the Mainly Asphalt chat. So we'll try and talk with Mr. Varney indeed. Brandon Varney, Marty up in the booth. You got a copy?
10-4.
Good run for you so far, even with some right side fender damage. Currently running P4. How are you liking the car right now?
I got right side damage. I got left side damage. I got a ton of damage. I don't have a winning car, but I got a fun car to drive. Can't believe I'm up here, but here we are.
We do apologize for his language, by the way. I'll just ask you one more quick question. You think you could possibly have something for Bear, Babinger, Jalbert? You guys have been battling throughout the entire race.
No chance. I got at best a top 5 car.
All right, sounds good. All right, thank you, Brandon. Good luck the rest of the way. We'll let you back in your chat.
Thank you.
If we can find it first off for you. There we go. We do again apologize for Brandon Varney's language there.
Oh, Rondeletto gets a good jump, and the 19 and the 66 get together, coming through 1 and 2. The 66 is now right back to the back bumper of Rondeletto. This is getting a little bit dicey up here at the front. Austin Edwards just forced his way to the front, and now it looks like Alex Hallinar is starting to make his way forward. He's to the inside of the 19 for third.
Good battle for third between the Charlotte winner and Barry. He said he's going to race everyone clean, and the way he races his opponents. Kenny Tripp got reports he's spun. No caution. We remain under the green flag conditions. Edwards, though, still trying to close in on your race leader. Hallinar fourth, Varney's in fifth, Tyler Jalbert in sixth. 3 wide off turn 4, Blake Wynn. You got Logan Jones in the middle, Dorso up top. You got Turpin Babinger behind this. This could get ugly here off the corner. There's still 3 wide. Jones makes contact. Hang on, folks. We keep him going and straight.
They managed to sort that out. The car in the middle knew he needed to back off there. Wise choice, but now he's going to lose several positions there on the outside as they continue to battle side by side up there. And these guys up in the front, the top 5, it looks like Tyler Jalbert is now back to the back bumper of Brandon Varney. We'll see if Varney can hold on to it with the damage that he's got.
Blake Wynn inside and Gregorio Emiliano Dorso for 7th. Great run so far by the driver of the 78, the biggest mover of the race, up 27 spots from the start of the race. Great run by him today.
Yeah, we've got several guys up here in the top 10 that have came through the entire field. Alex Hallinar in 4th, started in 25th as well. So he's picked up a ton of spots, and he is up there battling for that top 5 position right now.
Varney, Hallinar battling for 4th. We continue to watch the battle for the lead. Edwards is there on the rear bumper of Rondeletto. 45 coming to 44 laps to go this time by here in the XCAL Racing $2 Tuesday race at South Boston. The XCAL Racing Web Shop 350. Do not step away. We have got a great battle on tap here between Octavio Rondeletto and Austin Edwards. Currently, they got a second lead over the guy in 3rd, Matt Bear.
Yeah, they're just kind of walking away from him. They've got some lap traffic coming up, and Matt Bear's going to love seeing that. As they get up to that lap traffic, that'll give Matt Bear a chance to catch back up. I don't know if he has anything for either of these cars, but you never know what can happen. We've seen some wild incidents happen right in front of the leaders here tonight.
I would say probably about a fender lead for Rondeletto over Edwards. Edwards, the faster car on the track, had a 16:42 last lap compared to Rondeletto's 16:43. At the stripe this time, it is Rondeletto that's faster. So now they're at a deadlock, 16:43 versus a 16:44. And there you see Johnny B lets the leaders go by.
And that car, you heard him say he had quite a bit of repairs. He's now back out on track, but that car is really banged up. He's just trying to survive and get some more laps turned and lets the leaders by. They're coming up now on the 7 car, which is Mason Foster, who's only 1 lap down. He might actually try and fight these guys.
Currently right in 14th, looking to currently get a wave around as we speak. Keep in mind the wave arounds, I believe, are turned off with 10 laps to go.
5 laps to go, no caution, no wave rounds after 10 laps to go. So
that's right.
Could see a lot of insanity those last 5-10 laps.
Possibly. Stay tuned, by the way. Meanwhile, Luke Turpin trying to make a Turpin Superman comeback. Passes Blake Wynn for 7th. Now trying to close in on Hallinar for 6th. How about Tyler Jalbert, by the way, in 5th? He's been quiet so far in the top 10 in this race, but it's been quiet, trying to make his way up. He could possibly be a contender in the end. We'll just have to see. And meanwhile, Rondeletto slowed down by Foster. Foster is a lap down, could go 2. He's got to let the leaders go by per XCAL rules.
Yeah, and now they're going to come up on the 20 car as well. The 20 we saw earlier, he's going to let the leaders by easily, but that is also going to be to the benefit of Matt Bear. That little bit of holdup is Foster.
Boy, 3 wide. That was a close call there, and the 20 backs out of it. That's Jose Gaudino. And now there's another car there approaching the leaders. Check to see who it is. That's Hendren.
And Art Hendren has always let them by. He's very good about that. But the 7 of Foster, he is right there battling with the leaders.
We had one car that just crashed. That was Chase Johnson, who's brought it down into the pits. No yellow flag, though. We remain under the green flag. Not a good night so far for Chase Johnson. Caught up in the big wreck on, I believe, lap 3, or lap 8, I should say, in the race. Let's go to the battle for 3rd position. Matt Bear, Brandon Varney. Bear got slowed down by lap traffic. Varney's got a pretty good long-run car here as we speak.
Yeah, and Varney, we talked about it earlier. He is way better on corner entry, and it's starting to look like he might have adjusted.
Yeah, go ahead.
The 21 drops down there and almost gets into the 17. But Varney looks like he's made some adjustments. That car is getting off the corner a lot better now, too. He might be able to pick up some positions here at the end.
I was actually looking at the battle for the lead between Rondeletto and Edwards. Edwards nearly put the chrome horn on Rondeletto. Rondeletto dominating the corners here. Edwards is all the way down to the bottom. Edwards earlier on in the race when he was battling with Turpin for the lead was dominating. Now the strategy has changed, I believe. What do you think? Why do you think he's doing that?
I think the changes in the strategy have to do with the track temperature. As it gets a little bit cooler out there and as that second line comes in, it gives them a lot more options to get around this track. So we'll see if that continues. And we did see the 66 earlier. Edwards has been looking to the middle to high line to make passes. We'll see if he might just be setting the 77 up. He might be looking low and then coming down the last 10 laps or so. He might actually make the pass on the high side.
Varney got the chrome horn on Bear for 3rd. Bear was mirror driving Varney. Here goes the 2 inside. I got a wheel underneath. Looking for 3rd. They're side by side. Jalbert right behind them. Oh, he gets it to Varney. Hang on. The teammates collide. They save it.
That
was close.
They were nose to tail trying to get around that 19 car, and now Varney looking to the high side there, or at least moving up a little bit there mid-corner. And now look at this. Power move to the high side. Can't quite get there. I'm curious what the 2 car is doing here.
He wants to get by Bear big time here as we come to 25 laps to go this time here at South Boston down the back straightaway.
He spun him. He spun him.
He did. Oh, big wreck. The drivers at 3rd through 5th get together and they're not going to be happy. Varney is involved. Oh, my goodness. Watch the replay here into turns 1 and 2. Varney put the chrome horn on Bear into the attenuator. Jalbert just nowhere to go. Murray gets a piece of it. Oh, my goodness. Bear is going to be frustrated.
And Varney looked like he had planned that when he got down in there, set up on that corner and got the bump. He didn't realize just how low he was. He would have been fine, but he was right down by the pit wall. He scraped the pit wall, which turned him back to the right, and that's what caused everybody else to be collected.
We're gonna talk to them both. First, we'll talk with Brandon Varney. We're gonna do it individually. Varney, just take us through the game plan there. Just trying to put the chrome horn on Bear.
Yeah, I got into him a little harder, but I mean, you're gonna keep blocking me. I'm gonna run into you. So, it is what it is.
So that's the situation. Bear was really trying to mirror drive there. That's what you saw.
Blocking me all over the track. It is what it is. I probably should have went just around him, but oh well.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, man. We'll let you go. Alrighty, now we'll get Bear's side of the story here. Matthew, guessing you're really frustrated at the moves of Varney. What was your perspective?
He's just a moron that doesn't know how to drive and get around somebody clean, so he just decides to drive through people. I mean, that's what happens when you have a 20 IQ right there, so I don't know what you expect to happen.
I'll let you know, by the way, we just had him inside. He did not like the way you were racing him. I think for what he said, and I think what we saw this too, you were trying to mirror drive, play some defense, and I think you may have gotten into him a lap or two earlier. What do you think you saw prior to the accident?
Not at all. I was running low on gas and didn't know I was going to make it or not. So I was just sitting there trying to conserve, get in all easy and get off easy. So it's not my fault he doesn't know how to drive and can't pass somebody properly. So he's the one that got black flag clearly. So maybe he should learn how to drive and that wouldn't happen and ruin a top 5 cars race.
All right, thank you, Matthew. We'll let you go. Fighting words there, Doug, coming from Bear.
Yeah, I was listening
Dang!
to that. And, yeah, I think there's probably going to be some discussions in the XCAL hauler after the race, but a new wrinkle into this. The 77's connection has gone wonky. It's been steady all night long. Suddenly, here towards the end of the race, he is disappearing and reappearing quite a bit.
That is not good at all. This is, Jalbert's going to remain in third. This, I think, really helps out. You know, I was going to say it helps out Luke Turpin, but never mind on that.
I do think this will give Austin Edwards a chance. We've seen him trying to make that
Yes.
high side work tonight. If he can get the jump and stay with Rondoletto on the restart, we know he's been working that high side. Talked about it a few minutes ago that he's been trying to work that in. I think he might go for it on the high side, and he might even get it.
This is going to be a good finish to the end. Under 20 laps to go. Rondoletto, his ping's going up. How does this help Austin Edwards? He's got to be careful with the netcode situation, by the way. Tyler Jalbert could be now in the equation in this battle for the win. Just barely squeaking through that wreck. He may have gotten a 2x from contact. We'll have to see. But here we go back to green.
And Rondoletto gets a good jump, but not as good as he has been, and he's still having the connection difficulties. This could get very, very dicey right at the front as the 77 is now to the outside. It looks like the 66 is looking to the inside. I think Rondoletto might have moved up just to not fight it. I'm not sure.
He just got the warning, by the way, from race control to quit blinking. This is a big situation. Edwards is inside, by the way, for the race lead. Side by side for the lead. Side by side for third. Edwards doesn't know where in the world that 77 is. He's holding his line up top. Same with the 66, just being patient, just trying not to make any tough mistakes. Rondoletto's still blinking. Are they going to give him the black flag? Would not be surprised if it came within 3 laps.
I wouldn't either. The only indicator you have of where he is as the 25 gets right to him is the sparks that appear and disappear on him, and the 66 now to the lead, and that rookie Aiden Murray is in position to move up into second.
Aiden Murray in the second position, and Babinger and Jalbert side by side for third. Jalbert loose on exit. Contact with Babinger into 3. That got close. Oh, he got into Babinger. They accordion back. They save it. Helena got a bump meanwhile. We stay green. We're getting reports of 77s all over the place. Austin Edwards, he's been behind Rondoletto most of the race, has an opportunity to be the first driver this season to go back-to-back in XCAL, I believe.
You are correct, and the only person I think that might be able to throw a wrench in that plan would be Aiden Murray. He's got something to prove. He's his first start in XCAL, and he is charging towards the front. He started way back in 30th. He's made his way to second, and he's got just under a second to the leader. We'll see if he can close that gap. He is extremely fast right now.
It's going to be very tough. Meanwhile, we watch the battle for third position. We're coming to 10 laps to go. This time by here at South Boston, Edwards leads it. Murray second. Babinger and Jalbert Hellenar. They're all battling for third.
And quite a battle it is between the 48 and the 04. I would not be surprised to see Jalbert use the chrome horn before too much longer. We're at 9 laps to go. So here in just a few laps, there will not be a caution no matter what happens. And that would be the time at lap 5 to go. That would be the perfect time for the 04 to use the bumper and pick up the position. I do not think Aiden Murray can get to the lead. Austin Edwards has opened up his lead.
Gap is increasing 1.25 seconds. They're coming to 7 to go. This time by Austin Edwards again, looking to go back-to-back and really close in on the points lead on Luke Turpin. Same with Jordan Babinger. Up to third from Tyler Jalbert and third versus, and Luke Turpin, by the way, is an 18, so Baminger will close in on the points lead today. As I try to find my standings here, we're coming to the line for 6 laps to go. Rondeletto, I believe, he's in 8th now. He's closing in. Maybe with McRae. Here we come to 5 laps to go. We'll stay green to the end, unless the yellow comes out right now. It does not. We're green to the end. This is Edwards' race to lose.
And he does have a little lap traffic, but in 5 laps, he's got a big enough lead now, 1.5 seconds. If he gets to that lap traffic, he does not have to battle that very hard. He can stay as he comes by the 2 car.
Oh, boy. Sorry, side-by-side battle going on for 5th. Blake Wynn got a little bit tight there in the center on Alex Hallinar. Hallinar clears Wynn there for 5th. Great run by Blake Wynn so far tonight. He tries to come back with a crossover.
And he's got the nose inside. He drifts up mid-corner.
And he goes. Did he get Hallinar? He moved Hallinar up the track. Wynn goes to 5th.
And with 3 laps to go, I would imagine Hallinar is not done with this situation. He can slide back in there and give him a little bit of a bump in return.
We'll watch that battle a little bit.
He gave him a little bump. Can't complete it, though.
We'll watch that battle after the checkered flag comes out for Edwards. Got this time by the white flag, Austin Edwards, looking to go back-to-back. He's going to continue the streak of top 2 finishes in every race so far this season. And Edwards has just been a great performer today, been conservative when behind the leader, and has taken advantage of other situations. Off of turn 4, the XCAL Racing Web Shop 350 goes to Austin Edwards.
And he gives it a little flourish coming across the line and drifts it through 1 and 2.
Murray 2nd, Babinger 3rd, Jalbert 4th, Wynn beats Hallinar for 5th, Rondeletto 7th, Emiliano Dorso 8th, Mason Foster 9th, and Brandon Varney comes home in 10th. And Edwards lights him up off of turn 2. He's ready to do a burnout here.
Yeah,
Win number 4 this season.
And that's got to be a heartbreak for Rondeletto after having such a dominant performance to have the issue right there in the last few laps, and then just come home. He still manages a top 10, but he had the win in hand.
Edwards needs to improve a little bit on those burnouts there. He scraped the wall there, I think, for a few moments. But a nice win for him. The drivers get ready to go for the Demo Derby. Meanwhile, we'll get ready here for your top 3. And the top 3, by the way, Babinger coming home in 3rd. Stand by. We'll try and get a word with him here. And I believe we've got Babinger in the booth now. Jordan, Marty up here. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Nice run for you, getting 3rd. Take us through that battle with Jalbert at the end.
Yeah, I mean, I knew I was on fresher tires than him. I just wanted to get clear of him, but he was driving it in there pretty hard. And I don't know if we had a little netcode issue there or what, but yeah, he got into me, and that took my shot out of running with the leaders there. Kind of bummed about that, but other than that, it was an awesome night.
Doug, you got any questions you want to ask Jordan?
Jordan, you started back in 24th, and you came through and managed to survive a lot of insanity tonight. And I know a couple of times you ended up going to the back. Did you have a strategy for survival tonight, or was it just luck?
Yeah, it was just luck tonight because I was nearly in it. But we got lucky and made it through. I wasn't ready to finish 3rd, but Tyler McRae built an awesome setup last minute. I just want to thank those guys and snapmobile.shop.
Got a lot, I'm guessing.
Yeah, just a little wore out here.
I don't blame you. I get worn out whenever I do these races, too. Jordan, we'll let you go. Catch your breath. Hey, great run tonight, man. And nice job, by the way, closing in on Luke Turpin's points lead, keep in mind.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate everything you guys do at XCAL.
Absolutely, we definitely appreciate it. Let's go to the runner-up here. Aiden Murray, what a debut for you tonight. According to what I have on my stat sheet, this was your first start in XCAL competition. Take us through your day. What a run you had.
I don't even know where to start. It was pretty damn wild. Kept having to come from the back to the front because I got gifted with the worst possible pit stall. But part of it got involved in that late wreck with probably like 20 to go, but thankfully didn't hurt the car much. And I honestly pretty happy. I want to thank all the admins and whatnot for letting me run this and fun.
Doug?
You said you had the worst pit stall out there. Did you have any problems getting on and off pit road? Especially during those green flag stops, did that bite you at all?
The green flag stop, that definitely had potential to have bitten me, but the cautions fell my way, thankfully, so I didn't get hurt too bad by that. The first half, 3/4 of the race, every time I'd be coming off pit road, it'd be like even with the pace car, so to not go a lap down, I'd have to run the light, and that always put me to the tail end of the field, but thankfully I didn't get caught up in any of the wrecks from it.
Well, congratulations. That's a great finish. You have any sponsors or team your first week to thank for that?
At this time, I actually don't. The only people I want to thank right now are just the admins and all the guys involved in letting me run this fill-in spot.
All right, Aiden, we will let you go. Hell of a debut tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And now we go to the man of the hour, 4th win this season, first driver to win consecutive races this year in XCAL competition, and that is Austin Edwards. Austin, before I ask you about your entire run today, I just heard you blow up the engine. What the heck happened?
I don't know. I think I hit something doing burnouts and popped the radiator off the car. But man, I didn't expect to be here talking to you today. I had a little internet issue a couple minutes before the race and it had me miss the start. So I'm sure you guys saw I started about 10 seconds back from the entire field. So I was really lucky to be able to avoid all the wrecks, get the strategy right, and honestly have the other fast cars have issues themselves. So surprised to be here, but happy about it too.
You had you were really patient behind both Luke Turpin and Octavio Rondeletto, and then you really took advantage of Rondeletto's internet issues. I know the internet issues were not a game plan, but was staying behind part of it, just waiting until the time was right to make your move?
Yeah, with these cars having the new damage model, you definitely want to be more careful. Of course, a lot of people didn't keep that in mind throughout this race. I think we lost like half the field, but yeah, of course, Turpin had his bad luck. That was unfortunate. No reason to move him like 200 laps left in the race. And then behind Rodoletto, it was getting ready. It was about time to get him out of the way in those last 20 laps. I was hoping to set him up for a move. The bumper was probably kind of coming to play, but luckily he didn't have to because he had his internet issues. But great run by both of those guys. Unfortunate they had issues.
Doug?
Well, there at the end, every restart, the 77 had an advantage, and you were the first person all night to actually get a good start beside and not lose the 77 on the restart. Was part of that due to the internet issues on his part, or was that just you found a way to mitigate his good jump?
For the first little bit of the race, I was able to just figure it out. I was able to guess his starts well, but on that last start, he was all over the place. So I want to say when there was 25 to go is when his internet issues began. So only that final restart is what might have benefited me there. But I couldn't even see him past the last restart, so I don't know where he was. I don't know if I got to jump on him or if I didn't. So I don't even have an answer for you there.
All right, man. Congratulations. Great run tonight.
All right,
Austin, wait, before we let you go, first off, any sponsors you want to thank?
Just Paul Coleman, the guys at K2 for letting me do this, and everybody at XCAL for making it happen. I'm having a blast running with these guys.
And finally, next week at Concurrent, what's the outlook like there?
I will be there. Conquer is definitely not one of my strong suits, but neither is South Boston. So apparently I'm figuring these cars out, figuring this league out, and maybe we'll be able to pull off three in a row.
Alrighty, congratulations, Austin. We'll let you go.
All right, thank you guys.
Austin Edwards, the winner tonight, 4th win this season in XCAL competition. He takes the XCAL Racing Web Shop 350. A big victory for him tonight. K2 sauce, the only official sauce of XCAL Racing. It's an everything sauce, barbecue sauce, steak sauce, ketchup, and more all in one. Only sauce you'll never ever need. Also available in hot. And boy, was Austin Edwards hot indeed tonight.
He definitely was. He was extremely fast all night. Looked like he was going to be stuck behind the car of Rondeletto, and I don't know if he would have been able to get around him if the internet issues hadn't appeared. That was a heartbreak for Rondeletto, but at the end of the day, Austin Edwards definitely having a very strong season.
Absolutely. So let's give you the official results, by the way. 8 drivers finish on the lead lap. Austin Edwards, the win. Race lasted 2 hours, a minute, and a second. 1.676 was the margin of victory over Aiden Murray. Jordan Babinger, 3rd. Tyler Jalbert, 4th. Blake Wynn, 5th. Alex Hallinar, 6th. Octavio Rondeletto, 7th. Gregorio Emiliano Dorso, 8th. Mason Foster, 9th. Brandon Varney, 10th. Mike Stoddard, 11th. John Fraley, 12th. Tyler McRae, 13th. Alexander Gingler, 14th. Kenny Tripp, 15th. Logan Jones, 16th. Matt Bear, 17th. Robert Colgan, 18th. Shane Briggs, 19th. Patrick Sullivan, 20th. Tough break for Luke Turpin, having a good car. Comes home in 21st. Jeremy Lutto, 22nd. Greg Holes, 23rd. John Brancaccio, 24th. Chase Johnson, 25th. Tyler Berschelder is in 26th. Art Hendren is 27th. 28th is Sean Andrews, 29th Sean Patrick, and 30th Jose Gaudino. 31st Dwayne Robinson, Pete Zeller, 32nd. Kendrick Cryer is 33rd, 34th Derek Colson, Paul Coleman 35th, John Switch 36th, and Joe Campbell comes home in 37th. Now, Doug, I'm not too sure you have live points. If you do, go at it.
Not at the moment, but we'll definitely post those once they're updated tomorrow.
Absolutely. Okay, sounds good there. Next week, Concord Speedway here. We got the heats happening Monday. Tuesday night, the feature begins at 7:30. Broadcast right here on twitch.tv and facebook.com/howtosuck@iRacing. Again, want to thank our partners for sponsoring XCAL Butt Kicker. Check out the game or two. And use code XCAL20, all one word, to save 20% now through the end of the year at www.thebuttkicker.com. K2 Sauce, the only official sauce of XCAL Racing. Everything sauce, barbecue, steak, ketchup, and more, all in one. Only sauce you'll ever need, and also in hot. The Higgins Spotter Pack coming on out the Monday of All-Star Week, May 10th. To pre-order your copy, PayPal $10 to president@xcalracing.com with note #Where's Higgins. Sim Racing Coin, the official crypto coin of XCAL Racing. Earn Sim Racer coins by setups, paints, coaching, or join realistic leagues. Sim Racer Coin, racing is life. Try E-Ink, building walk-in coolers and freezers for grocery stores and big box stores in the southeastern U.S. From Florida to Texas to Virginia, a source for installation, repair, and maintenance. Email them, tryiink@gmail.com. And finally, the XCAL Web Shop. Check out xcalracing.com/shop for all your XCAL needs, from apparel, hats, towels, and more from all your favorite teams. Newest categories including Everyone is Ugly at 5 a.m. and the Legend Will Petey. Doug, final thoughts before we close the broadcast tonight.
That was a lot cleaner than we expected. A lot of great battles throughout the night, and definitely another great night for Austin Edwards.
So we will wrap things up here. Full broadcast coming on out immediately after we stop the broadcast for tonight. On behalf of everyone at XCAL, including the president, Aaron Hillebush, the vice president, PDJ Zeller, and behalf of all of our partners. Now on behalf of my co-commentator and owner of How to Suck It All iRacing, Doug Burns, Marty Sakala signing off for tonight. Austin Edwards win number 4 of the season in the XCAL Racing Web Shop 350. Thank you all for joining us. Take care, everyone.